and President Trump has selected James M. Murray to take over in May.
A federal judge in California has blocked the Trump administration's policy of returning some asylum seekers to Mexico to await their immigration court hearing. The injunction goes into effect Friday. A Chinese woman who bluffed her way into President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida remains in custody. Correspondent Kaylee Hartung.
This was a pre-trial detention hearing, but no determination was made on that matter as the defense asked for a one-week extension, saying they've had some communications with people related to Zhang in China that could be of help for her as the judge decides if she will be permanently held in detention awaiting trial. And the federal prosecutor says by that date, next Monday, he expects to return an indictment as well. There will be a lot of ground to cover next Monday here.
The Trump administration has blocked Cuban players from joining Major League Baseball.
Late last year, Major League Baseball reached an agreement with the Cuban government that would have allowed Cuban players to sign with big league teams without having to defect first. Major League Baseball's goal was to avoid situations of human trafficking that often takes place when players are forced to defect from Cuba and make their way to the U.S. However, the Trump administration says the Obama administration was mistaken when they declared the Cuban Baseball Federation was not a part of Cuba's communist government and as such would not allow American baseball franchises to directly fund the Cuban government. I'm John Stolness.
On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 84 points. The Nasdaq gained 15. I'm Ann Cates.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Astronauts to the moon.
Ten, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Not to get off track here, but I feel like we're in the Truman Show, and we're in a snow globe, and they just shook it up.
Welcome to reality.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jeranism Monday Night Raw, the current, reigning, defending, unarguable #1 show on True Frequency Radio on Monday nights between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 to 11 Eastern. I'm your host, Jeran from Jeranism, and my tag team partner is again the one and only, the high-flying Jew from New Jersey, David Weiss. David, good evening to you, sir.
Only gets better every week, my friend.
I'm trying to change it up a little bit for you since you hate the intro, so, you know.
Appreciate it. It's good. Things are great. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo, but I think I'm all right.
Let me see if I can fix that. Is that any better?
Check 1, 2. Yeah, that's better. I can't hear myself, so it's really good.
That's got to be a treat, man. How do I make it work for me too?
So you can't hear me? Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I was trying that. Hold on one second. So, good news. My video just finished rendering. Isn't that exciting? So
fantastic. What's it called?
It's called Are We Spinning? It will be up. I might try and do it during commercial breaks, but if I don't, then it will be up immediately following the show, as long as there's no errors in it or mistakes. So have something to look forward to, guys, after the show. Check out my video. It'll be on my channel.
How long is it?
Miss it. Let's see, 34 and a half.
Nice.
Minutes, not seconds. I know for you I have to say that because otherwise for you, if I asked you how long your video was and you said 34, I would have to assume 34 seconds.
Correct.
Okay. So we got a little treat tonight, believe it or not. We have another member joining us, the head of the Flat Earth Offensive Movement, and that is Daryl Marble from his very popular YouTube channel, D Marble. Daryl, are you there?
I am here. How's it going?
Very good. Glad you're with us. You sound a little bit loud, but I think it will do. So, yeah, glad you are joining us. And, yeah, why don't you tell everybody just a little bit, if they don't know who you are, where they can find you, and how they can support you as well. And, yeah, we'll get into some other stuff.
Oh, well, as you stated, I have a YouTube channel titled D Marble, just after my name. It's not always flat Earth. Sometimes I'll switch it up and go on to different topics. You can find me on Twitter at D Marble1, on Instagram D_Marble_FE, or on Facebook under Daryl Marble. Just
awesome. And so he's got a channel, D Marble, as we said, D period and then space Marble. And yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I see here on your little description, it says I might upload a video on breaking news, current events, flat Earth, van life, politics, and a ton of other topics. So yeah, I'm kind of the same way. That's how I like to run my channel. And I think that's what I respect about you a lot about your channel, is you just do what you want. And that's kind of the point of YouTube. That's kind of the point of my channel. Not listening to what other people wish I was doing, or really paying much attention whether they like it or not, because it's just my channel and I do what I do. That's it. You're the same way, huh?
Pretty much. Otherwise, we can, find ourselves pigeonholed into, well, this is the Flat Earth channel. You're not supposed to be doing that. I'm like, dude, if I want to upload a video chatting with my friend at a salon, then I can do that if I want,
Right. Yeah, that's the point of it being your channel. So another thing that I've seen that you've done lately is a lot of the street activism. So, yeah, tell people a little bit about what you've been doing and what I think you and I were texting the other day, and you told me one of the best things about it is that it's growing on you, or at least it gets kind of addictive. So, yeah, tell us about what you've been doing out there at the beach and other places.
Oh, it's absolutely becoming a bit of an addiction, and I'm one of those who likes to get out like any other regular person whenever the sun's shining, and I find that in the Pacific Northwest here, a lot of other people flock to certain areas, and I'll go down to Owen Beach. That's one of the places at Point Defiance Park, and a lot of people will come out there on a bright sunshiny day, and I'll just not being overly aggressive, I'll just have my my flat Earth banner with a few details on it, some pictures, and some proofs on there from my own experiments, observations, and all that. And if somebody wants to talk, they can come talk, and they're going to see a big banner that says the Earth is flat. Right. And a lot of people will come by and they'll want to have a chat, and I'll just have the conversation with them. But I'm trying to inspire other people to do the same thing if they feel the need to. That whole, whether or not we call this a leaderless movement, and it really is, but they'll, still say that certain of us are out in the forefront, as it were. So, a thing that I learned in the military was kind of lead by example. So if we can get more people doing street activism, the word will spread quicker, and then we don't have to, we're not subjected to the censorship and all that from YouTube.
Right. Sure. Hey, D, how you doing, man?
Long hey, Dave.
No talk. Hey, I love the street activism. I love that you're doing it. Even if you only talk to 3 people, which you're talking to more than that, those are 3 people that wouldn't be listening to this show or Globusters or watching other Flat Earth videos. So, that I've been saying that for a long time. We all preach to the choir, and that's good in educating the choir, but we need new choir members, and that's what street activism does. So we all got to do it every day.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree. Yeah, and I even try and do little videos on occasion that don't mention flat Earth. I did the how to send mail for only 2 cents video where I didn't mention it. I'm not sure if I mentioned it during the Joe Biden video I just did recently, but all those videos are, and for that Joe Biden video, for those who haven't seen it, I happened to sit down and just say, I want to watch some of these congressional ceremonies or something. I just want to watch them in completion to see if I'm noticing any kind of patterns. And as soon as I started watching the first one, I was like, man, there's so many patterns. And I was like, well, if I'm watching it, why not just do it live on a live stream and let other people kind of watch it with me? And again, yeah, you have some people who complain, why did you do this? How could it be 3.5 hours? What are you doing? Why are you doing that for? But again, my hope is that somebody, especially with the Biden story being in the forefront of the news right now, I figure somebody's jumping on, somebody's going to search them. Hopefully they find my video. Hopefully they like some of the things I'm saying, and then they say, hey, what other videos is this guy doing? And then hopefully they can find Flat Earth through that way. So I think it's at least it's great to sometimes mix it up, and hopefully you pick up some other people. At least that's the way I've been doing it. So for everybody listening at home, if you want to call in, we're going to be taking calls the second half of the show as we normally do, and you can call in at 213-233-3998. So if you have any questions for D Marble, or have any questions for David or myself, or have a comment, or just want to say hello, you can start getting in line now. And again, as soon as the second hour turns over, we will start taking those calls. So one more time, if you want to call in, 213-233-3998. Otherwise, Daryl, the way that this show usually works is the first hour, David and I just usually talk flat earth, talk shop. And so we're glad that you're joining us, and hopefully you can cue in whenever you want. Whenever you got something to say, please let us know. I did want to ask you one question that I thought was it was a good video, and I just want you to kind of explain it to people. Can you explain what you meant, your recent video that was called "You're Being Catfished by NASA," a simple analogy? Go ahead and tell people about why you used that metaphor. I thought it was really good.
Oh, thank you. First of all, well, I woke up early in the morning. I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning and typically go to the gym. Sometimes I'll make it, sometimes I won't. But I usually have some pretty clear thoughts in the morning before the fog sets in. You're all rested and relaxed. And I'm thinking about, as I always do, just different ways to approach the topic and to make it more relatable, using parables as it were to, describe different scenarios. So, I thought about that whole situation. I'm like, let me see. NASA, the way that this goes is like we have all become endeared to this idea of space travel and, flying to distant planets and all that. And we've become infatuated from this, with that idea since from an early age. And, the thing is growing up and looking into it, becoming more aware of the deceptions, we see that we've just been given pictures that were falsified. There aren't really any real pictures of the Earth, that's been faked. All we have is secondhand information. And, we don't have that 24-hour live feed from the moon that we should have by now. I mean, it only makes sense. I believe that, and I believe that you've said this in a video or two, that 24-hour live stream of the Earth spinning from the moon would be one of the most watched broadcasts on TV.
Absolutely.
People tune in for that all the time.
I'm watching that right now on my Apple TV screensaver. They free downloaded that to me.
Yeah,
that's what they show on the Apple TV now. It's literally the Earth from space spinning.
Yeah, and I mean, if we could get that, if we could get that for real, if we could get the real live feed, I mean, everybody would tune into that. But it's just like on that show Catfish. We've been sold an idea. They've used these fake pictures to bring us in emotionally into this idea. And I mean, none of it's real. And we request things like FaceTime, or the equivalent would be that 24-hour live feed. And I mean, we just can't get it.
Right.
So, I mean, basically we're being catfished by the space agencies, and not just NASA. It's like, all of them, Roscosmos, JAXA, ESA.
D, have you looked into the supposed landing on the 11th of Israel on the moon?
I've only seen like the headlines of that.
That's all any of us have seen. Headlines, a couple articles, a promo video. But we haven't been to the moon in 50 years supposedly, and now Israel's going, and I think is it India is going right after them? Don't you think there's some other countries doing it? Every mainstream news outfit should be following this if it was real, but I haven't heard any of them mention it.
Right. It's kind of a soft disclosure, I believe. I mean, and I mean, we've all heard about the story how the Earth's atmosphere now extends beyond the moon. So these aren't really even space agencies, technically. Because, I mean, have you really gone to space if you've never left Earth's atmosphere?
Right. No, and you're right. They love to say which countries have gone. And, Dave, I'm pretty sure that India, at least as far as my research goes, has already claimed to have gone to the moon. Because they're the ones who said they found water at the South Pole, landed a craft there. But you're right. In the articles I've read in the last week when I've been looking into this Israel thing, it keeps saying that Israel will become the fourth after United States, Russia, and China.
Are they're sending? Is it unmanned or they have a manned? Is it manned or unmanned? I was laughing too hard to even get through the article.
No, there's no manned.
Okay.
No, that's a little too difficult to fake. They already did that once.
Yeah.
So now what it is just a lander. They've got some pictures taken supposedly from this craft in orbit. But again, just like all these images, if you take them to photo forensics and pop them in there, you're seeing some lines and artifacts that just don't seem to coincide with something being real. What it coincides with is something that you're doing in layers. So again, you create that little layer, then you create an Earth kind of spinning thing. It doesn't have to spin, of course, it's just an image. But again, you put that behind it, and they're passing it off as real. So that's why I thought what Daryl's video said was really an accurate depiction, because you're absolutely right. It's the same thing as someone who dates some girl for a while online, and you ask them, well, have you Skyped her yet? Well, she says she's busy. Her camera broke. There's always all these stories where you're like, right, dude, before you continue this relationship, you need to see her live on Skype. And that's kind of the whole story with NASA too, but people are so sold on this relationship that they have with NASA. They think it's the greatest invention ever, and that how smart humanity is, and look at all these things that we've done, and we wouldn't have done any of these things without the help of NASA.
They're too busy doing science to waste their time with dumb flat earthers.
Right, it's just the same
thing
to
prove that they're real.
Right,
That's
same thing with the girl that says she can't get on Skype because she's too busy right now. She works long shifts, and by the time she gets home, she's tired and can't turn on her Skype to get on video.
Money.
And she needs money.
Those are red flags, man. I want to come see you. Oh, we were supposed to meet up, but yeah, something happened. There was a death in the family, and I'm sorry. Maybe next time, And this is like the third no call, no show.
And can I get another $23 billion?
We want to take you to space. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be soon. We're really busy doing science. Can I have another $56 million tomorrow?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I thought that was such a great analogy, and so true. So David, that's supposed to happen on 4/11, right? I think some people saw the little trailer, and it said 11/4, but that's because they write the date backwards. But that's supposed to be on the 11th, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I wish I wouldn't have. Not I wish I wouldn't have, but I have a little interview coming up on the 11th. That'll be on the Jeranism channel. That's going to be with Life is Short. Do you know who that is, Dave? He did that 6-part series on perspective.
I'm sure if I saw it, I did, but it sounds familiar. I'll have to watch it.
Check it out. The channel is Life Is, in one word, Life Is, and then Short, a second word. But yeah, he's done some great work on his channel. He's got like a 6-part series. It's very long, and I talked to him this week and said, do you think you can put together a presentation and move all that down to 1 hour? He said he can do it, so that's going to be on the 11th, but that's the same day, so maybe I'll be doing 2 live streams, because if I see some nonsense of them landing on the moon, I can't wait to go live and pick that apart, which will be really quite easy. It always is.
Yeah, for sure. Nope. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. So
it's already ridiculous.
It's already ridiculous. So let's talk about some other things real quick, Dave. You've got some information on the app that you wanted to point out. You did it yesterday on Globebusters. By the way, thank you for joining us. It was a good show.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Some jealous Globe zealots knocked off my app on the Google Play Store.
Life is reality. Life is reality.
Yeah, life is reality. And they definitely didn't pay enough for it, because it's really, really horrible. But as I said on Globebusters, I was getting people saying your app is not working, this and that, and they sent me a screenshot, and I'm like, that's not my app. They stole my artwork. They took the exact copy. But as of today, they are reacting because they've changed the name of the app to Flat Earth Clock. They're trying to not get busted. I've been going back and forth with Google. They're asking me for screenshots and what part infringes. But people have stepped up. I asked anyone with an Android phone to go and download their free Flat Earth Clock app, and then leave a review saying that it's a knockoff and anything they want to say. And a lot of people have done it. So if you go check the reviews out, all of the top reviews are, this is a ripoff. The real one's here. You can get it here. And mine is $2.99 because I did spend a ton of money, and I'm still spending a ton of money and time on it. But I am at the point now where I said yesterday, and this is very interesting, that I can only do it for Android. I haven't found a way to do it on Apple yet. If you cannot afford the app, or for some reason, you can't get it on your phone because you don't have it connected to an account for whatever reason, send me an email at info@theflatearthpodcast.com. Tell me, who you are, what the story is, and I will give you a free code so you don't have to pay for the app.
Awesome.
In response to that, somebody that was listening to Goldbusters sent me a $75 PayPal and said this is to help fund apps, free apps for people. So that's another 25 right there. I said I would match that and do an additional 25 on top of that. But the cool thing was, the most emails I got were from kids, from teenagers that are under their parents' cell phone plan and have to get authorization from their parents before they buy anything. And they're like, and they can't do it. So I got a whole bunch of kids that were saying, hey, my mom won't let me do it, I whatever, and boom, those codes are flying out the door. So anyone listening that's under your parents' account or something, just shoot me an email, tell me what your story is. Let me kind of just try to verify that you're not just a glober. That really doesn't serve any good anyway for them. And I'll send you the code. What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. So how do they get a hold of you? They just email you, right?
Yeah, email info@theflatearthpodcast.com and just tell me the story. But only for Android. So sorry, only Google Play. And all I ask is that you use the app every day, that you check the featured video every day. And if you've seen it, great. If you haven't, watch it. And you will become a more educated flat earther. One of the kids was emailing back and forth. He said, he was even using his father's email. I guess he doesn't even have his own email address. And well, it is what it is. Okay. And he was telling me, he told me that his father has been trying to wake up the rest of his family to flat Earth. So those two are flat earthers. And I found that very interesting. And I invited them to either come on here or come on the Flat Earth podcast and just tell us what life is like, father and son living in the world of globe zombies.
All right. Well, that's awesome. It's really nice of you. And whoever did send that money to kind of help out, thank you very much for that, too. Appreciate that. Or Dave does.
It's good. I mean, the purpose of this app is to get the message out there. And, I've been trying to make it better and better. Actually, I just put more money back into it today to make a widget because everybody that has Androids wants it as a screensaver. I will be having a widget soon. The widget, however, will not have full functionality because that's just the limitations of the widget feature on an Android phone. But I'm reinvesting anytime I can and to make the app better and better. And I kind of already think it's good enough, but I love it.
Well,
I made it for me, by the way, not for you guys. What?
That is very true. I was going to say, no, one of the things that you've added recently, which I thought was awesome, is correcting the sun's location due to daylight savings time. So you can talk a little bit about that if you want.
D, have you updated your app to have the daylight saving times feature on there?
I have not, sir.
So if you have the latest version of the app, iOS or Android, you go into settings and then scroll down, not to the right, and you'll see all the switches. And there's a new switch there that says daylight savings. And what that does is right now, our clock, our hour hand is 1 hour ahead of where it should be on the flat Earth clock map. So what it does, it takes the sun and it jumps off the hour hand and it floats an hour behind it and will chase the hour hand. And that's the sun's true position. And I think it's my favorite feature on the app now, just because when the sun is out of position, when you are looking it in the wrong position, you just don't feel right. And I think that's part of the reason they have daylight savings time is it's a weapon to keep us off kilter.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with that. So yeah, everybody check out the app, download it if you don't have it already. And yeah, scroll down and send.
And by the way, today, now this is a subject that I always skirt by this, and Jeran, you and I, kind of do the same thing. We if you have to put a fence down the middle of flat Earth, you have Christians and the rest of them, right? So you have a lot of people that use the Bible as the reason they believe in flat Earth, and the other half that say, hey, this is the reasons I believe in flat Earth, and by the way, it says it in the Bible. So I steer away from that because there's plenty of other people that are way more knowledgeable than I am on that side of the fence. But today I featured Matt Long's video. Have you seen it?
Dear Pastor.
Dear Pastor, I think that video is phenomenal. I've watched it like 5 times. I think it's amazing. And I encourage anybody that to take that video, whether, if you go to a Catholic church, if you know a priest, a pastor, show it to them, send it to them. And it's not offensive at all. It's amazing message. And, imagine the power of waking a priest up to flat Earth that has a big congregation. We could have another Dean Odell.
That'd be huge. Oh, great. I'm so excited. Well, some people more than others. But no, I totally agree. And there is that fence for most people. I don't think there's a lot of flat Earth atheists out there. But yeah, Christianity is a big part of that, especially in this country, which is such a high percentage of Christians. But no, a lot of the religious texts, a lot of the old texts, a lot of the Vedic stuff, a lot of that stuff is described a flat and motionless Earth. So, to me, I don't need the Bible to talk about the Earth being flat. But like you said, anybody who says the Bible talks about a sphere Earth or anything like that, or that an Earth that flies through space or anything like that, is completely off the rocker.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah, everybody check that out. And Matt's channel is, what is his channel? It's
Flatworth.
No, it used to be Flatworth, and now it's
changing channel names. I don't believe it.
He changed his channel name. Matt's channel name is, as I
search it.
Yeah, I can't even find it right now.
All right,
it's not Flatworth. Come on, it is.
Oh yeah, it used to be Flatworth, but now it's been changed to David. Man, it's a lot of time I gave you right there.
No, I know, but I was pulling it up on my phone, and my phone says it's offline. I don't know.
All right, we'll get to you when we get
back. I'll blurt it out in the middle of something you're saying in a minute.
Right.
I'm sure you will. So, yeah, and if people want to, again, the second half of the show, so after this next half-hour segment, and in that half hour, we're going to be talking about Crow 777 a little bit, talking about Glowbusters yesterday, and then also want to talk some more to Daryl. And then after that, we're going to be taking calls, like I said. So if you want to get in line now, we've already got a couple callers.
Woketown.
Woketown. I knew that, too.
One word.
Man, I knew that.
So check it out, everybody.
Yeah, check that out. And David did exactly as he said he would do, which was rudely interrupt me at some point. But yeah, so if you want to get in line to talk to Daryl or myself or David, 213-233-3998. Again, 213-233-3998. Let's see here. David, the Planets champion, lost his WrestleMania match yesterday, by the way, in case you cared to hear that.
No idea.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. You're listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
It's amazing how people have been raving about ILife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with ILife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil, but the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with ILife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to ILife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's ILife.com. AYA Life. TalkStreamLive.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the Live Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Jim Ram, retired. In early 2012, I was facing a laundry list of chronic health conditions that my physician was telling me were incurable. I knew there had to be a better way, and I learned how I could reverse every one of my ailments with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. In just a few months, I was able to reverse high blood pressure, gastric reflux, sleep apnea, arthritis, degenerative disc disease, heart arrhythmia, AFib, and many more. And I've lost over 70 pounds and kept it off. Now I'm hosting a radio program that's dedicated to helping my listeners do the same. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're sick of being used as an ATM by your doctor, then you'll want to tune into the Your DIY Health radio program here on Truth Frequency Radio every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 to 8 a.m. Pacific.
No hype, no fear. We are TFR Frequency Radio.
All right, welcome back. You are listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. We appreciate you being here as always. I'm here with David Weiss, and we're also joined by Daryl Marble. So very exciting stuff. David, Daryl, I'll ask you both because I don't know. Daryl, have you ever done a movie or a video premiere on YouTube or no?
I have not.
Okay.
Not just as yet. That's something I'd like to do, but I'm like kind of sporadic. So I'll end up putting a video together, and I'm like, I got to do this right now. So I'll either go live or I'll just work on it for a few hours. And as soon as I get it loaded, I'll just go ahead and, publish,
right,
without even trying to do a review.
Yeah, that's the same way that I am. I've actually never done a premiere.
I've tried to do a premiere, but YouTube goes, I'm sorry, we don't do premieres that are under a minute.
No,
I thought it would be really funny to do a premiere with like a 3-minute build up for like a 90-second video. By the time people got there, it'd be over.
Well, my video, I just got done uploading it. It's ready to go. All I need to do is hit post. But I saw premiere. I'm like, well, wait a second. Couldn't I premiere it at 8 o'clock tonight? And then I'd also get to be in the chat with people. So I click premiere, but it doesn't. Where do I put in what time?
Oh, it tells you. You have to just go through, and it'll tell you premiere on a schedule. You have to click schedule.
I don't see schedule. I don't know.
Is there a next button?
No. I mean, there's, then translations is after basic info, then advanced settings, and in advanced.
Hey, D, I got a question for you. You're out doing your street activism. I want to hear a little more about this. What is the percentage of people that are on board? You know, how many flat earthers have you come across? I've only seen a few of them, but, you know, on the course of a day, are you talking to 100 people? Are you talking to 50 people?
Oh, no. Well, here, again, it's not me talking to them. It's them coming and talking to me. I'll just
so how
be
many
standing
of them?
there.
Yeah.
So it varies. The best place that we found was at Owen Beach, you know, and now people are starting to know that I'm going to be there if the sun's shining, you know, and I've had people approach me out there. I meet a flat earther on every stream. At least, I'll say about five or so will just walk by and they already know. They're like, oh, hey, yeah, the earth is flat. Then I'll invite them on to the video just to say hi to everybody in the chat. You know, really interactive. It's always a lot of fun out there. As far as it just depends on what time I go there, because here, I mean, in Washington, you know, we don't get a lot of sunshine, so it's got to be like a really nice day. If it's like a Saturday and the sun comes out, dude, it's gonna be busy at the beach. So there's going to be a lot more people to talk to. It just depends on the weather as far as how many people I talk to, honestly.
Cool. I love it. Big fan.
How about absolute haters, people who want to fight you? Have you had any of those?
No, not yet, because, well, I'm not really a small guy, honestly. I don't know if they want to go there. People are always, you know, I find that the heliocentric enthusiasts, the globe believers, they're always more polite in person than they are online. I've noticed that.
Yeah, so far I definitely agree with that. I've met a couple of them at the different experiments I've done, and then also at the conference, and they all seem well behaved, unlike the ones in our chats and the ones in our comments who seem to be really, really brave behind a keyboard.
Yeah, absolutely. We love the keyboard warriors, but there was one guy. At the last outing. It was my buddy Ted and myself again at Point Defiance, and it was this one guy. He was sitting behind the camera, sitting on a picnic table, and he just insisted that I show him a picture of the edge. You know?
Oh yeah.
Well, you can't prove it's flat unless you show me a picture of the edge. I mean, where's the edge? Where's the edge? He thought he had me with that, you know, but
ridiculous. Yeah. Again, yeah. I mean, even if you believe in the globe, if you believe in the sphere and you believe in NASA, you still have to ask the question is, why has no one gone past 250 miles in over 50 years? And once you realize that, then you'll start to even think, and I don't even believe people have gone 250, but even if you can only get up a certain distance, that just means you can't take a picture of a huge portion of the Earth. And I don't know anybody who's going out to Antarctica and trying to launch balloons or something other than, of course, those that are allowed to go there.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people, they haven't heard of, you know, the restrictions that are in place
right.
for, you know, exploring the edge. So,
they want to make it. They want to make it all funny and say, oh, what do we have? A bunch of police officers surrounding the flat Earth, and they just don't get how radar works and how easy it would be for them to patrol that and how long it takes. People don't even realize the distance between the tip of South America, so the very southern tip, and that little fishtail or that little piece of Antarctica that pokes out. That distance is like 600 miles.
Now, are the waters all around that tip like super crazy rough?
It depends. Yeah, I guess down around the tip of South America, there's supposed to be some pretty choppy waters down there at the straits, I think they're called, or whatever. But not as far as everything I've seen. Think of the water from the pictures next to the quote unquote ice wall. The water is completely still.
Yeah, I noticed that. The other thing is, even if you got to the ice wall and you got your ladder and got up on top of the plateau, how far are you going to go? I mean, it's cold and they're desolate and.
No, you need to have all your food packed. You need to have all your provisions. It needs to be a team effort. Yeah, it's certainly not something one person like Matthew Powerland can do.
Right. No, of course not. But that's the details of it. The logistics of it is something that nobody ever thinks about when the cognitive dissonance overtakes them.
Right, and they just say people have already passed the South Pole, and yet I've even emailed the girl that supposedly skied to the South Pole, and she skied to the South Pole and came right back where she started from, and I had to email her and I said, why wouldn't you go across? I don't understand. if I ever was going to, undertake that journey myself and I went from the edge to the South Pole, why wouldn't you just continue going? What would make you go back in the same path that you came from? And she wrote back and said, oh, the difference in cost that it would have cost them to pick me up on the other side was something like $60,000. It's like, what? I mean, imagine that. I mean, they'll pick her up where she started for obviously whatever money that was involved, but then to go across to the other side would cost $60,000. It just doesn't even make sense.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's what she gave you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's her reason. Yeah. And again, I've pointed out numerous times that these pilots that have the record for the quickest north-south circumnavigation, the guy who did that flew from Brazil to the so-called South Pole and turned around and came right back and then went over to New Zealand. And again, it just makes all those things make sense on a flat Earth, and it doesn't make any sense on a globe.
Right. And I mean, obviously, we would have to ask the question, like, why didn't they just go right across and then come back around as we would expect them to on a globe? But again, that's the details. That's the details, man.
That's the details, and everybody remembers, I'm sure, the pole-to-pole flight that was supposed to take place. I think that was in October of last month, and so many flat earthers said, nope, that'll never happen. It's not going to happen. There's no way. It's fake. And then, sure enough, the flight got canceled, and Globers will come up with a million reasons why it got canceled or that it was a scam or whatever, but they'll never just admit, that's pretty funny that flat earthers said this wouldn't happen. And sure enough, it didn't happen.
Right. And
there's still globe people that are defending the globe saying that the flight did happen.
Oh boy.
Wow. They must have been kind of clued out, because there was one guy, one guy collected over $19,000 to take that flight. One of the prominent globe defenders, and he got scammed out of that money. And that was pretty embarrassing, actually.
And so he never paid back any of the supporters on that one, huh?
I haven't heard anything about him compensating his supporters. No.
That's a pretty rough one.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, you would expect someone to be laughed out of the community if someone in Flat Earth, for example, did something along those lines, started a GoFundMe of some sort, maybe on a different platform than GoFundMe, and then collected almost $20,000 and then lost it in a scam, we would be laughed out of the community.
There's so many evidences of that. I mean, yeah, absolutely on that case too. And I've done a video a couple times on this document that was now come out that it's probably fake. I'll go ahead and go with that line that it's a fake document. Daryl, you even texted me about it and said, man, can you believe this? And I said, hey, I'm going to do a video about it because it's one or the other. It either means that these guys are dirtball for faking the document, or they're dirtball because they are actually involved in such a scam and such a nonsense, paid to make globe videos or whatever. But even in looking at that entire thing, if you really picture it, these guys created a fake document saying that they get paid by whatever. Now, if Daryl or I had done that, imagine that we'd be out of the Flat Earth community. If Daryl or I created a document that said that people get paid to make globe videos, I mean, who fabricates documents like that? Well, I have an answer. It's Globers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, pretty sad. So, yeah. And also, Dave, I don't know if you saw, but that video is still up, which means that the privacy complaint that they tried to get on me did not work. Womp, 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 womp. Sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, so that's what happens when you try to set up somebody to get their channel taken down. It ends up not working, and you look like fools. And, and then I just don't watch your channels anymore. Somebody told me the other day, did you see that Planar Walk responded to your video? I'm like, no. Why would I? I just made a video explaining that why I would not watch anything those guys do, because they faked a document in order to get my channel taken down. And then somebody's like, did you watch the video that he did, a response to you? I'm like, no, I didn't watch a response video. The guy lies and makes a fake document. What the hell would I watch that video for? I don't know. Pretty crazy. Dave, did you watch Globebusters yesterday?
I was on Globebusters yesterday.
That's how little you impacted the show.
Oh, ouch. I believe I spoke more than you did yesterday.
No, that's not true. I spoke a few times.
It is.
Now, there's a lot of people on the call.
Bob just said it in the chat that I talked at least twice as much as you.
That is not true. Bob, go back and do timestamps. I want to see it.
Hey, did you listen to the Flat Earth podcast yet, the latest episode?
I heard about it on Globebusters yesterday. I don't know if you heard it on Globebusters, but it was discussed on Globebusters. And why don't you tell us about it? I didn't hear it, but I can't wait, because I love to hear nonsense globe believers who just Man, it gets painful. I've done a couple videos
redundant.
with people, right? Yeah,
that's a redundant phrase. Nonsense.
What did I do? I did a video where I had a discussion, a couple-hour discussion with a guy with a PhD, and it just gets to be the same nauseating stuff. It's as if we didn't go to school, so they're like, well, let me explain to you how gravity works. You see, everything gets pulled to the center of the globe. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. Nobody does. We know that. We understand what we were taught.
In a nutshell, this guy, a Craig educator, teacher in K through 12, just so annoying. Just the way he was saying stuff, the comments. Don't even listen to the podcast. Just go look at the comments on YouTube. They're hysterical. People are just hating this guy. He's becoming a meme. And I welcome anybody to take the sound clips of him and put them together in some clips. I actually tried to do it for the next show we do, just have some little clips of him, but it was so annoying I couldn't do it. It was so horrible. I had a few back and forth with him afterwards, gave him a couple links, and his responses were even worse than on the show. And I finally just said, there's actually no helping you. You'll be trapped on your prison ball forever with no way out. And then I blocked him for life.
Well, that's good. And I always say the same thing, because people are welcome to believe that stuff if they want. I mean, my whole thing was that I never was given the option of believing in something else or thinking that something else existed. I was told that this stuff was scientific, told about the scientific method, which really you can't argue with. You look at it and you go, man, that seems like the best way to find the truth. And then you get taught a bunch of things after that you just chalk up to being part of the scientific process. And then all of a sudden, when I got to the age of 35, and you hear, hey, could the earth be flat? And you go looking and you're like, well, hold on a second. Let me prove the globe. And we all have the same story, that you start looking for the proofs and you can't find them. And that's when I said, you know what? Everybody in the world deserves to at least hear that there is another option, that just what you're taught does not necessarily mean that it's true. And so if you've given somebody, and that's why these people who send me 30 questions, 40 questions, Jeran, and respond to all these questions, I'm like, no, I'm not responding to those.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody to do that to.
He was just giving us a runaround. I finally said, all right, this is it. You're done. I have one question for you. What's the number one reason that you believe in the globe? And he hummed and hawed for a little bit, and then he goes, seasons. And I'm just like, oh.
Wow. Even though the flat earth explanation is so much better.
It's so much better. Yeah, I've seen the videos, and I just don't buy it, and then somehow he got disconnected.
I wonder how.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that. Yeah, so yesterday Globebusters was great. Fantastic show. We had, besides Bob, myself, and Iru and John, we also had David, believe it or not, he was on the show. And we had
behind the Crow 777 podcast,
right? The brains, and we had Crow 777 was on, as well as Jason Lindgren, and they have an awesome podcast. If you aren't listening to that, you got to check it out. And then we also had on Chris Van Mitri to show some of his footage. And overall, what do you think, Dave?
I think that the world is so strange, and we live in this crazy world, and I don't know what's going to happen next, but it's going to be something major. That's what I think. Yeah. That's what I took away from yesterday's show.
I think that we're talking about Crow and Jason. They have a podcast that you guys can check out. They also created a movie, which is available on Vimeo.
Right.
You can rent it for $11, I think. It's a good movie, but the part of the movie that I loved the most was definitely all the observations. What they did is compiled all of Crow's, I don't know how long he's been doing it, 6-7 years. I don't remember exactly how long he said. Longer?
Yeah.
So all his videos when he observes the moon or the sun, mostly the moon, and that's why the movie's called Shoot the Moon. But you get to see so many things that fly by, and I don't know, it just really piqued my interest, and I can't wait to get out and do some observations, especially with the infrared, because it seems like you can even see more in that frequency. So that's what I think is going to come. But yeah, everybody should check that out if you want to, if you're interested in seeing little things. I don't know what you'd call those, Dave. I mean, I have a feeling a lot of Globers are just going to say, oh, those are satellites.
The satellites are bugs or whatever. But, if you listen to their explanation on pixel sizing and speed, right, and, just everything, they're not dummies, these guys. And
no,
now Crow says he believes that it's all human technology up there. he might be right, but it could also be, I don't know, spiritual technology. I don't know what it is. It maybe not human. But
Here we go with the stars or souls.
There you go, stars or souls. I
think it's all human made.
Again, the bottom line is anything up in the sky. The only thing we can say is that they're a light. That's the only thing that we could accurately say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I don't think that there's anything I can't. Saturday night I saw the ISS go over, and it disappeared. Right, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I have a question about that. Good, finish.
No, I saw the ISS disappear right above my head. It was 9 p.m. Just didn't make any sense. I'll have to go and try and see why that was, because usually I do see it go from basically horizon to horizon. And in this case, it was very bright. It's like the brightest star in the sky, but it gets right above your head and then disappears. But yeah, go ahead.
So my question is, when the ISS transits the moon or the sun, do you see it coming or you just see it transit? Like when I watch the ISS, it's usually around dusk and it comes from horizon to horizon. It's brighter than the brightest star, which makes absolutely no sense, which makes me say it's just a luminary on a track like the wandering stars, aka planets. But when it transits the moon, do you see it coming or you just see it cross the moon?
Yeah, it would totally depend on the time, because
I don't know, but I know that it would depend on the time. But has anybody ever seen it coming and then seen it across the moon, or is it only crossing the moon?
That I can't say. I've never. When I saw it, it was. I think if you remember, I have a video called ISS Shape Confirmed or something like that. It's got a ton of views, by the way, that video.
But you didn't see it you didn't see it approach the moon. It's kind of like the eclipse, where everyone's you never see the moon approach or leave the face of the sun. So we can't even say that it's the moon, and evidence is showing that it's not. So whatever we see crossing the moon, it could be a trick.
Right, and then when you're talking about the sun, it's the same thing. It would be daytime, so of course you're not going to see some little craft. But if you have your camera trained on the sun, supposedly you're supposed to see it. By the way, Dave, I am going to film a solar transit on the 23rd of April if everything goes right. I've got that all set up at 2:51 and 22 seconds. So 2:51 p.m. supposed to see the ISS cross the sun, and as long as there's no clouds blocking it, I'll have the solar filter courtesy of Bob Nodell. I'll have that solar filter attached to my P900 in infrared mode, and we'll try and catch that. So
finishing my point about not ever seeing it approach or exit the moon or the sun.
Right.
That could if that's the case, and we don't see this fireball like we see when we're watching it from horizon to horizon, then it could easily be a timed aircraft, small and closer, to create these flybys.
Yeah, no, I don't put it past it. And really, I mean, and this goes to like Dave, we have that caller sometimes, Carlos, right? And he's the globe believer who is really a staunch globe believer, basically because he worked for, or still works for, I'm not sure which one it is, for DirecTV, and he cannot picture how there could possibly be DirecTV without these satellites. But it would be so easy. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day, and just it's like when you get up on the roof, it's the digital system that tells you which direction to point it. It's not like you have to point it at a certain spot in the sky. It's all done digitally. It's just, again, it's the same thing as these NASA's scientists and engineers sitting around at computer consoles, and they're just dealing with data. It's the same thing. So for me, it could very easily be these balloons up there, and I have no idea once you get up above the atmosphere how you can move them or if you can move them. But no, I definitely think that there's a lot of things it could be. I certainly don't think that there's people flying around in the ISS at 250 miles above. But again,
I think that the light that we see from horizon to horizon and the thing that we see transit the sun or the moon are two different things.
And I would love to see somebody who, if, for instance, if you ever had a full moon and it was just rising and the ISS went by, then I guess, conceptually at least, you should be able to see the ISS because it's being shined on by the sun, and then it should cross the moon and you should see it continue on. But I've never seen that footage.
One, you will never see it. They'll never schedule one right at that time where you would see a lit ISS, because it's two different things in my opinion. And the other thing is, I'm predicting in the very near future that there's going to be calamity on the ISS. A fake calamity.
Could definitely happen. I think that they need to find a way to say, oh, and this is what's going to come eventually, is that, it's too dangerous for humans to go to space. We need to send nothing but robots and get video. And if you watched Globebusters yesterday, one of the, I think it was one of the best parts was at the end when Bob showed a video game that renders in real time. Did you check that out, Dave?
Yeah, that is unbelievably real. Mix that with the website, the technology that makes not fake humans that look, you can't tell the difference between them and a real person. Different faces and everything. Put that together, and what do you have? You got the New Zealand shooting.
There you go. And this is the problem, is that I've always told people that now technology has moved past the ability for us to tell when something's fake. So you have to go back and look at the footage that NASA provided before that was the case. And if you go back and look at the 60s, 70s, 80s footage, clearly it's done by somebody with a model in a black box, or at least with it in some sort of warehouse with and I've shown pictures in my live streams before of the Mercury capsule hanging from wires with a blacked out background. And then when you look at the motion of these crafts, go back and look at the motion of the Apollo craft above the moon, and it's like turning, and you can totally tell it's being done on wires hanging from the ceiling of a building. It's like clear. But again, people will want to believe. They'll want to believe that girlfriend from across the country or whatever who doesn't want to Skype you is telling you all the truth, and those are her real pictures, and that's her real abs too.
Wait a minute. Those aren't her real abs?
No.
Oh, man.
She's got a gut like me.
You got to see those face to face.
Yeah. That's why you only see D Marbles in photos, quotation marks.
All right, here we
Never
go.
a video.
I've seen D Marble in person. He is not. I don't think he's catfishing me.
Paige's eyes are perking up.
Paige, relax, calm down, Paige.
She was falling asleep. Now she's perked up, wide awake.
Good.
Amazing how that happens. So we got calls coming up in the second half. 213-233-3998 if you want to ask Daryl Marble a question, myself, or Dave. That's what we'll be doing in the second half.
Paige might be calling in.
Oh, Paige is going to call in? Great. And you can call in. You can call in and just say hello, despite what Dave likes to say. If you want to just say hi to us.
Absolutely. We just want hellos, actually. Hellos, and tell us how much you love listening to us.
Yes. And how much you love Daryl's work and want to see more. So, Daryl, anything else you want to talk about? We got about 2 minutes before the break.
I'm just relaxing. Lately, what I've been doing is kind of doing a social media detox. I was out there going, pretty hardcore with the activism for about a week and a half, and I found myself a little burnt out. So I've just been taking some time to relax, man.
God, I've been doing a social media detox for about 4 years now. So. That's why. As knows. And I'm sure you get a ton of emails and stuff like I do, and messages. It just gets overwhelming sometimes. It's just coming from every direction. You're like, man. But yeah, what I love to do is I love to make videos. I love to sit down, research, put the videos together. By the way, I did find that premiere button, so I'm going to go ahead and premiere my video tonight at 8 o'clock. So as soon as this ends, everybody get on over. Not as soon as this.
8 o'clock. 1 hour and 4 minutes from now.
1 hour and 4 minutes. We will be premiering that. And I just have to finish writing the little description here, which I'll do during this break. So don't go anywhere. You are listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. We got D Marble and questions and your calls coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas, Jeranism RAW with Jeran and Missa, Fearless with Frank Castle, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Eye of Ra with Ra Castaldo, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray, Ironworks with Josh Corey, The Kev Baker Show, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117? Or call into your favorite show, toll free at 833-TFR-LIVE. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Trump administration shakeup, the Russia probe. I'm Ann Cates. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen and Secret Service Chief Randolph Alice are both stepping down. Correspondent Caitlin Collins.
The shakeup comes as Trump has become increasingly frustrated with immigration, blaming Nielsen for a spike in border crossings and pushing her to reinstate the administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy, which he ended last year after backlash.
We're going to keep the families together. I didn't like the sight or the feeling of families being separated.
The House Judiciary Committee will call Special Counsel Robert Mueller to testify in public. Correspondent Manu Raja with a request by Chairman Gerald Nadler.
He said they would happen after Bill Barr, the Attorney General, talks before this committee on May 2nd. And all of that presumably would occur after Barr releases at least a redacted version of the Mueller report, as he said, by mid-April. But all eyes will be on Bill Barr tomorrow as he comes to Capitol Hill and talks to a separate committee, a subcommittee on House Appropriations, about the budget request for the Department of Justice. But I talked to Democratic members of this committee who made very clear they plan to ask about the status of the Mueller report.
A Chinese national remains behind bars after talking her way into the president's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. Correspondent Shimon Prokopesh.
Prosecutors want her detained. They say she had a visa, a tourist visa, to come to the U.S. from China. She flew through Newark. She flew into Newark Airport, and then she came to Florida. That visa, they say the State Department has revoked that visa, so there is an immigration detainer on her. So even if she was to be let out today, she would not be released.
The incident renewed security concerns about the West Palm Beach Club. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 84 points. The S&P 500 up 3. The Nasdaq up 15. I'm Ann Cates.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Walk like us. They even talk like us. Walk like us. But they are not like us. On the weekday, you can see the signs, you can see the signs. They wear the disguise. Look into the mind's eye. There's nowhere to hide. Don't stick covered lines. Whispers from afar.
All right, welcome back. You are listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw, and I almost got the description done during that break, but not quite. Close enough. Anyway, let's move on to take some calls. Hopefully we got some callers. Again, if you want to get in line, 213-233-3998. Oh, Dave, before we take calls, I did want to ask you a question, because it's something I keep finding online, and I think it's completely true, because I used to ride, for people who don't know, I used to ride the train to high school, believe it or not. I know that sounds crazy. Who goes to a high school 40 miles away from their house? That was me. But until I was late in my sophomore year and got a license, I used to ride the train to school. And something I always used to notice, in fact, we used to always make sure when we got on the train that we would get on at the back of the train. Well, it depends. Kind of, I don't know. Trains go both directions, so it's kind of hard to explain. But when you're walking towards in the opposite way that the train is moving, it's easier to walk than if you're walking in the same direction the train is moving. Does that make any sense, Dave?
It's absolutely true.
Right.
I've been saying that for a long time.
And if you look online, everywhere you go, that is argued to the tip, because the reason why is because if it's true, they've got big problems with this idea of explaining the Earth as the same as we're traveling in an airplane. You know, they always try and explain that like, oh, it's because you're traveling in an airplane. But if that were true, then everybody who runs a race or who does a long jump would try and run to the west because that would be the fastest. Because simply, if you go on a train, like I said, and you walk in the opposite direction that the train is moving, it's much easier to move. You can move much faster than if you're trying to go in the same direction the train's moving. But according to everything that science says, nope, it's completely the same. It doesn't make a difference. If you're going uphill, you just don't know you're going uphill, or the plane is leaning up, you just don't know it. This is what you hear. So anyway, just thought that was interesting. But Dave, you agree then, huh?
I agree that it's definitely harder to go forward, and if you could run, you'll just keep gaining speed if you're running towards the back of the train, and soon you'll fall flat on your face.
Correct. Yes. So let's go to phone calls again. 213-233-3998. We got D Marble, myself, and Dave Weiss. So if you got a question, ask it up, and let's go to the 423 area code. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this? And we strike out to start. 423 area code. You've been on hold for 51 minutes. And
sleep.
It's going to go on even longer. All right, let's go to the next caller.
Hey, good evening, ladies. This is Ryan. I called once before. It was real quick, but I was hoping to talk to you guys today. Good to see D Marble on there. D, I've tried to catch you a couple times when you came to Pioneer Square, but it always seemed to not work out. But I'm definitely looking forward to meeting you.
All right, sounds great.
And I want to say great work on the catfish reference. We did just live through the age of Pisces, and it is the fish story. We were sold on a fish story, and it's no coincidence that, the only way to see curve is a fisheye lens, and you nailed it with the cat. You nailed it with the catfish. I think that's exactly right.
Quick question. Did you know that we just went through the age of Pisces because of the flat Earth, sun and moon, and zodiac clock app showing you?
No, that's pretty funny. No, I was interested in the ages, even before the flat Earth came to me. Back when I was an atheist, I kind of wanted, I kind of always felt like the elites did their stuff along with the ages or something. So I was always trying to figure out what the hell it actually meant. But
all right, I'm sorry to derail you. Sorry, shameless.
No, you're cool. Hey, you're King David, so I got to let you go. I've been thinking that the zodiac is really the key to the zeitgeist, and there's a reason why it's zo, and then die, too. There seems to be a correlation between the age that you're in and then another age, and I think for the age of Pisces, it was the bull, it was Taurus, and that's why it's by bull. And we're entering the age of Aquarius, and we're going to go back to again, and it's going to be the age of Aries, the ram with the spiral, and I feel like we're going to learn about some spirals. So I've been saying God's got a pair of aces up his sleeve, and it is this age of Aquarius with the help from the ram in Aries. So I've got lots and lots of ideas. I had a very weird awakening to the flat Earth that is different from anyone else's I've ever heard. I told the story. It's called the Flat Earth Awakening Story, unlike any other, on my YouTube called The Truth Shall Set You Free. I have since lost my password to that, and I can't get back in. I lost my phone. So I've started a new one called The Adventures of Flatman. And last week, it was my birthday, and to celebrate, I decided to go to the University of Washington to see if I could find a professor to help me get back on the ball. And no one was very forthcoming. But I did walk into the student lounge and just kind of asked them, like, who I should talk to, who's the best person to help me out. And I got a great video of these kids pretending to be flat earthers and using the NASA approach, never a straight answer. And it was absolutely great. So since I have tried to email all the professors to try to get the trolls to come out from under their bridge, and I've gotten no response. I went onto their Reddit, and they deleted my comments and everything. So tomorrow, I am going to go to the University of Washington, and I'm going to start reading from the Book of Gravity, and I'm going to try to draw them out. And see if I can, the best way to get an audience is to pick a fight. And I've decided these are my guys. I've been wearing a T-shirt that says "Brainwash You," and I'm going to try to brainwash all these kids and see what happens. Obviously science has nothing to hold up. So if they can start worshiping at my altar, maybe it'll be awesome. And I want to say one more thing. I have what I call a demon, Daemon. Socrates apparently had a demon, some kind of spirit that followed him around and influenced his thinking, never really made him do anything. But I have a spirit that follows me around. And earlier, when Dave said something about the ISS being two different things, one, the thing we see from horizon to horizon, and then the thing that crosses the moon, my demon kind of let me know that you were onto something there. So I wanted to give you guys that. I would appreciate any support you guys can give me, because I'm gonna start kicking ass. I'm not afraid of anything anymore. It's been a long battle, but I'm gonna try to draw science out of their whole
nothing better than
shadow.
Some demon confirmation.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, D Marble, I'd love to get a hold of you. I don't know. Are you coming out to Pioneer Square again anytime soon?
Hey, I'm just checking the weather. The forecast changes so much, man. We have that saying here, if you don't like the weather, just wait 15 minutes. So it usually depends on that.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, one thing I think about that is like if you show up in the shitty weather, that shows devotion that people will respond to. So I don't know. I mean, I've kind of convinced myself to just go out in the crap and still beat the pavement pretty hard.
One of these days. I'm a fair weather flat earther for now. Flat earth activist anyway.
That's fair enough. Yeah, that's good.
I hear what you're saying. I feel you. Yeah, we'll get around to that at some point. But hey, man, that's a ballsy move. What you're doing there?
Absolutely.
Guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any last questions or comments before we move on?
No, I think we're good, guys. Thanks. I really appreciate the time.
Hey, appreciate the call so much, and thank you for watching. This video or this show, my videos, David's videos, D Marble's videos, everybody's videos. Let's go back to the caller. That just to give him one more chance in the 423. Looks like Tennessee. Oh, they are there.
Hello.
You're on.
Alabama.
Hello. Yeah, you there?
We're here. What's up?
We're here. What's going on?
Hey, man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. I had my phone on mute earlier, so I apologize.
No problem. What can we do for you?
So, no, I'm a flat earther, man. I've been I don't know, since 12 or 13. I can't remember. Sergeant got me started, and maybe a little bit, and then I kind of just branched off down different rabbit holes. But I've been going down my different. It's a scientific method. You look at things and. You discern information your own way. You by looking at both sides and coming to your own conclusion. But I mean, I've looked at all the Apollo missions. I've looked at telemetry. I've looked at NASA budgets. I've looked at Mars missions. Far as if you guys, they obviously go off the public being having a attention span less than 8 seconds, less than a goldfish.
Optic
so
with angular
obviously
speed,
every
because
year
linear speed exposes the nonsense.
Hello?
I lost you.
Jeran, your video just came through.
Oh, is it playing?
It was. We could hear it and interrupted the caller. It was very rude of you.
Wait, the video's playing that I'm premiering?
No, I thought.
Oh shit. Maybe it started. My bad. I did something wrong, probably. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. No, my bad. I thought we went to commercial. I yacked right into a commercial break. But no, if you just look at the budgets, every year it's $20 billion, $19.2 billion since the onset of NASA in 57, 58. So my question is, what has been done with this money, these $19-20 billion every year for the last 60 years, and all we got is a flying tin can up in the thermosphere, supposedly 47 miles above in an atmosphere where it's minus 400 or more degrees. I mean, you got to be kidding me, man. If you also look into the Disney connection with Werner von Braun and how Disney put out all the movies, like look at that. They've been putting bullshit in our faces since the 50s, man. They were talking about living in space in the 50s, and we'd be traveling in space for work. I mean, everybody go back and look at at Walt Disney and Werner putting out those Disney movies back in the early 50s. It's a joke. Yeah. And then going through all the Apollo missions, I'm telling you, man, anybody with again, I've heard cognitive dissonance thrown out here, but it's also confabulation is a word that I want to throw out there. I'm at a loss for words, and I like listening to you guys because you guys are some like-minded individuals, and it's just good to kind of throw my opinion out there.
Well, great. Yeah, I really appreciate the call, and I totally agree. And that's what I think D. Marble does, and that's what I do, is that we just take it upon ourselves to give our opinion. And I know D. Marble and I text a lot, and usually when we do, we just kind of say that same thing back and forth to each other, that, man, we're just out here giving our opinion, and you know, we're doing the best we can. You know, people don't have to like it. People don't even have to listen. You know, if I see a video that I don't like, or somebody's talking about something I don't agree with, I kind of laugh it off and I move right on. But for some reason, this is a topic that people can't do that to for some reason. They are, and it's because it's ingrained in you from such a young age. And that's the way you create a belief system, is that once you've taught in children that have no idea, they have no ability to go and question the things that they're given. They're just told that it's true. It becomes part of your belief system. They keep flashing these globes in every movie and every commercial and every logo. And then what happens? Well, you can't fight it anymore. And I think it's impressive when people can. So, you know, is that how you see it, Daryl, too?
Absolutely. And I mean, it's just, you know, like you said, an aspect of being able to break the programming, man, because we've all been fed the same nonsense since before we could think for ourselves and ask the critical questions. Well, why does this work? And, you know, we just trusted the big people to tell us the truth, and we just went with it, and it became a way of life. But, you know, we're all just regular people just asking questions about what we've been told. That's it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I'm sure Dave feels the same way. Let's go on to the next caller. This is from the 707 area code. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. And D. Marble, who's this?
What up, Flat Earth All-Stars? This is Andy up in Eureka, California. I've got a question for you, Jeran.
Sure.
Would you like a cigarette?
Don't ask me that. Sometimes the answer would be yes, but no. I've stayed clean. I got hugs from all of we had to go visit my wife's family because her Mrs. grandmother is in the hospital, and they were all so happy. So I got hugs from everybody. They were very thrilled that both Miss, and by the way, I've had people ask me too if Missa quit, and Missa quit 2 months before I did. So that's why it made it pretty much easier for me. When she quit, I was like, wow, I'm impressed. Way to go. And I just kind of said, well, if I ever feel like quitting, I'll be behind you. But for now, I don't feel like it. She just quit completely cold turkey after smoking for, 10, 15 years. I don't know how long she smoked. And then for me, it took me getting sick with pneumonia to just not have a cigarette for almost 2 weeks. And then I just said, well, why do I need to have another one? So it felt good to have a lot of family. They were all very thrilled about that. They also were very happy that I stopped biting my nails. I don't know if anybody cares to hear that, but another thing I've chalked up to no longer needed to do. So, no, I appreciate that, but no, I do not want a cigarette. Thank you.
Well, I didn't mean to phrase a question wrong because I know how that is. I haven't had one in 5 years, but I still think I'd enjoy one every single day. But
right.
What I was also wanting to say, because I called one more time, I called an earlier time to support you and say, hey, great job with the cessation.
Appreciate that.
I wanted to say that you inspired me. That I took the bull by the horns as well, did what I could. I joined a gym. I wanted to tell David that I'm going to start rocking a Flat Earth Podcast hoodie in the gym.
Nice.
Because he looks so good. He looks so good. Was it the Logan Paul or the Behind the Curve that you were interviewed in? It's such a tight one. And so, Daryl, I need one of yours too, because the offensive ones are tight as well. And Jeran, I was just looking to see if you had one. Your logo would look really tight on a black hoodie as well.
Well, thank you for saying that. And you know what? I just uploaded one the other day because there's that new program with YouTube that allows you to make shirts and hoodies. So yeah, if you actually go to any of my videos, you can go to the one that's premiering here in 45 minutes.
Okay,
and if you
I checked and didn't find it, so I'm gonna start doing that. That's how I'm gonna play my part, is to wear it in the gym until somebody, just wear it on a daily basis until people start, maybe asking. All right, well, thanks and great job. Keep it up, and you guys
appreciate the call.
Are the best. I enjoy everything that you guys do. Well, I appreciate you, Jeran, and you, D, and you as well, David. All right, thank
you.
Peace.
Thanks so much,
Andy.
Later, Andy. I'm surprised that he's not going to wear a Seizures for Science shirt, though.
You know what? I was going to go there saying, the thing is, and you've heard me say this before, is that the Globers are so zombified that they can't see, the chemtrails in the skies and the messages on our shirts.
Right.
Just because, but if you wear a Seizures for Science shirt, they look at that and go, what? What is that?
Talking about?
Conversation's open.
Right. Yeah, because I think even when you're talking about D Marble's FE offensive shirts, anybody who's not awake is going to see that and think it's a globe. It's just the way it works. It's just people.
What is it? Is it offensive?
Maybe. It's just a logo, but the one that I wear at the gym most of the time is one of my and I have 4 of these different T-shirts. It's the one that says at the top it says Globe Believer Logic, and then it shows a little yellow man on the bottom of a globe, and then it shows and it says normal, and then it shows a little yellow man on a flat Earth, standing at a 90-degree angle like we all experience. So it's kind of sarcastic in its design. I saw that lady by the name of Camilla made that meme, and I contacted her. I'm like, it's perfect. Can I put it on a shirt, please? Please?
Yeah, now that I have that option, I'm like so excited about all the shirts I can make. I was thinking about doing one with the picture of Michelle Obama on it that said, Joe Biden touched my penis, but
oh no.
But maybe that wouldn't be allowed on the YouTube site. So
I'd wear it.
I won't do that.
I'd wear it. I'd wear it one day. That's going to trigger a few people at the office.
Yeah, a little bit. I think people might be a little upset at that. All right, let's go to the next caller. You're on. This is a 905 area code. I know who this might be. You're on with Jeranism. What's up?
And that's why it's not on Jeranism Live anymore.
Right, so it's not on the YouTube channel anymore. Sorry, folks. I want to be able to say that when I feel like saying
it. And by all the powers to you, my friend.
Yes, and like I said, please think twice about simulcasting this twice on your. Think twice about simulcasting this on your YouTube channel, because one day it won't be there anymore. So what's up, Ginger?
Oh, that was good. That was fantastic, Jeran.
Well, that's not mine. That's actually Owen Benjamin posted that Instagram post, which is very classic, very good. I forgot the other one, Dave. Wasn't there another one that he did? God, I just.
No. Yeah, I forget what the other one was. Whatever.
It was funny. Anyway, what's up? Any comments or questions for D Marble today?
Just wanted to say thank you to Daryl, and thank you to you, Jeran, and thank you to David. And I think I was the first one to be gifted the app, so I really do appreciate it because I've been showing it to everyone.
Fantastic. Did you turn on the daylight savings?
I saw that yesterday, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Just go into settings and scroll down and hit daylight savings. Yeah, it's not a big story. It's pretty easy.
And no, the story is with just my phone and family, and I want to be left alone from time to time.
They couldn't handle
but...
the daylight savings time part of Flat Earth.
They got everything else, but that was too much.
Like, all right, Earth is flat. I get it. But daylight savings being a weapon, you're crazy.
You're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind.
Oh boy.
No, I just wanted to be left alone for a day, but it's not the point. Anyway, I just want to say I love you guys, and Daryl.
Yes, sir.
Dave, Jeran, all you guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
And
appreciate you.
No problem.
I
appreciate it.
Everything.
You're a good guy, and thank you for the call. We appreciate it. Hey, Dave, I did get a video that you sent me today that was from a Richard Lopez that's called Big Guy.
Yeah.
It said, like, what'd you send me that for?
It's just interesting. Did you watch it?
Yeah, and then it says a movie's coming soon or something.
Did you watch the big guy walk through the crowd? He's like 12 feet tall.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't know why is it movie coming soon?
Well, this is the whole thing with Tartaria and giants and stuff from the past, and people are finding old video clips with giants in them. And there was one in Iran where they're having a big rally, and in the distance there was some like people that were like 12, 13 feet high.
Really? That'd be interesting. I'm also doing a video soon with that guy Clint. People might remember I did a video with him called History is a Lie. He texted me the other day and says he's got a whole presentation to give about Tartaria and a lot of these different subjects. So that should be coming to my channel soon too. So I look forward to that. And I'll look forward to this movie coming soon on the Richard Lopez channel. Let's go to the next caller. You're on with Jeranism, Dave and D Marble from the 415 area code. I know where that's San Francisco. Let's go to the next caller. Hello, we can hear you. You got to turn down your show.
Yo.
There you are.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey. What's up, Jeran?
What's going on?
Oh, shit. Nothing, man. I just wanted to say thank you guys. And was trying to get, sorry about cussing. Trying to get a Flat Earth meetup in San Francisco. I wrote you a couple emails. I think I talked to Dave Weiss a couple times, did a couple chats with him. But yeah, I was trying to figure something out because I know there has to be a lot of like-minded individuals out here, and I'm just not finding anybody. So
well, I know that
maybe you could endorse it.
Would you come down to Sacramento?
Yeah. I would go to Sacramento, but it's kind of far from San Francisco. It's about a 2-hour drive. But there are a couple of meetups happening in San Francisco.
2 hours on a flat Earth is nothing.
That's nothing. It's 2 hours for me to get to Sacramento too, so I'm not going to feel bad for you because I got to do it. So,
I've gone to meetups in Portland. That's over 2 hours away.
Yeah. So anyway, May 4th.
No, there's a gentleman.
Let me just get this in real quick.
There's a gentleman he used to speak to.
Go ahead.
There's a gentleman he has to call in a lot. He lived in Hayward, and he was trying to get something together. I forget his name. He was in the Bay Area as well. He used to call in a lot. He stopped calling. But me and him chatted, and I lost contact with him. And I had one more thing I was just thinking about. Water always finds its level, but as I'm driving in the rain right now, water's hitting my windshield. And I'm looking at cars, and I'm noticing that water is conforming to the exterior of something that's round, which is really tripping me out because I've been doing this research for about 4 years, and it just hit me right now. I am seeing water stick to the exterior.
Large bodies of water at rest are always level. Large bodies of water at rest are always level. Always.
That's about the quantity of water.
Yeah. Right. At rest
also
at rest.
If you have any water on the bottom of your car, it's not going to be there for very long. All right. Don't go anywhere, guys.
No,
Listen to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. We got a break coming up. We'll be back to take more of your calls. Don't go anywhere.
Stay in school, they said. Use your tools, they said.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworks. Josh, Corey, and I have chosen to look at life with no fear. No fear of the unknown. No fear of questions about the supposedly well-known. No fear of ridicule for thinking outside the familiar fool's lines. No fear of the boot on the neck of those refusing the party line. No fear of taking on those so convinced of their beliefs they would sooner drink the Kool-Aid than believe they've been fools made. In this world filled with me too, cattle think, can truth's protective layers be peeled back to show the tender, juicy pink? Are we all just grist for the mill? Souls sold against our will, or is that just how it feels? When you're filled to the rim with trivialities so fear-filled and grim, break clear of the fear. Right here, Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 a.m. on TFR. Josh and I and you will hammer out the impurities of technology-driven groupthink, fold in a dash of logic, and quench it all with a bit of absurdity. The Ironworks. Break clear of the fear.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. We got me, we got Dave Weiss, we got D Marble, and we just had a caller asking for a Bay Area meetup, and so thanks to Michelle Gentz, that will be delivered. That's going to be on Saturday, May the 4th at 12 noon Pacific time. That's going to be at McKinley Park. I'll be there. Missa will be there. Miss Puppy will be there if you want to meet her. Chris Van Mitri will be there. Michelle Gentz, who you better known as Effie Mishka. You also have rumors that Mark Sargent will be in attendance. I can't say that for sure because I haven't heard Mark say that, but I've heard other people say that he'll be there. So yeah, you can check out Mark Sargent's channel for a promo video with details, and then keep an eye on my channel as I'll promo it too as we get a little bit closer. So if you haven't met us, come out and say hi. Last time we had a meetup in Sacramento, I believe there was like 100 people there. It was huge. A lot of people. We hung out at a bar. This time it's going to be at a park, so bring some snacks. I think it is dog friendly, so bring your animals, and if you want to bring a frisbee or I don't know, whatever you like to play, beanbag toss, I don't know, bring some fun games, and we will all have fun. Dave, you gonna come?
I heard a rumor that I might be there.
Really?
What's a rumor?
It's a rumor. All right. Well, we'll keep up with that. We'll check next week and see if
I wouldn't count on that rumor though.
Oh no, thanks a lot.
I may have just started it.
All right. Let's go to the next caller in the 206. Oh, that one we already took. Let's go to the 530 area code. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw and D Marble and Dave Weiss. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? This is William. Can you guys hear me all right?
Hear you great.
Hey, Jeran. So we met at the Sacramento meetup. Was that 1 year or 2 years ago now?
Oh, I don't remember. It seems like it's 1.5 years. That's just my senses telling me that, but I don't remember the date of that one.
Well, if I remember right, it was May the 4th, be with you. I thought that was the date. I'm not sure. It just seems like so much has gone on between now and then. It seems like a year is too short a time, but then 2 years seems too long. But
you're right.
Kind of an honor to be on the...
I was just going to say, I totally agree with you. It seems like 2 years doesn't seem like it fits. That seems too long ago, and 1 year seems too close. That's why I went with the 1.5. But if it was on May 4th, then it's a year or two, one or the other.
Yeah, I believe someone said that in a call-in show just a few days ago. But David Weiss, hello, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you.
I'm bummed out that the rumor may not be true. You'll be in Sacramento. And D Marble, watch a lot of your videos. Been watching you guys for about 4 years, all of you, Mark, Patricia, and I can't wait to go to the next one here in about a month. And so look forward. Jeran, I just want to say congratulations on the smoking. I quit 5 years ago. Up to that point, it was the toughest thing I'd ever done. So good job, and don't look back. Just keep going forward. And because truth be told, I smoked because I believed a lie. When you get right down to it, that's what it was. I was believing a lie.
Hey, I might not be at the Sacramento conference, but Sacramento meetup, but I will be at the Dallas conference in November. So you have plenty of time to plan for that, and we could meet up there.
All right. Daryl Marble, thanks for all you do. God bless you. And I'm going to let you go so you guys can take other callers.
Thank you.
Right. See you soon. See you soon, Jeran.
Take it easy. Yeah, it'd be fun to meet up with everybody. And if anybody wants to come and needs a place to stay, like David, if you don't want to pay for a hotel or whatever, we got an extra room here at the house. You got to pay your own plane flight, though. Hate to tell you. But then we can drive up together, and then I'll drive you back to the house, and then you can figure out a way to get to the airport again. So if you want,
nice.
open offer. You guys can stay in the guest room.
Shuffleboard?
You can play shuffleboard, absolutely. The table is all waxed up and ready to go.
Nice.
Let's go to the next call. 904 area code. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw and D Marble and all the guys. Let's go.
I just want to let y'all know I've been listening to you 4 years. I signed up TFR, first time caller. Just want to say Earth Flat. Y'all are doing a great job, and that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys.
All right, appreciate that. That was
awesome.
Easy.
Great to the point.
Yeah, I love those calls. That's great. See, Dave, you discouraged all those calls before. It's pretty nice to hear people say hello and that they enjoy the videos, because I enjoy making. I'm sure D Marble's the same. I mean, I can't think of any time that I've ever sat down to like make a video and been like upset doing it or said, I don't want to make this video, or I actually enjoy making the videos. I actually enjoy doing live streams. How about you, Daryl?
I enjoy the live streams. The videos, sometimes I'm like, kind of got to drag myself to get those done. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do enjoy the live streams, interacting with people, and just sharing ideas. I do enjoy that.
Yeah, no, and actually I do agree with you that when the live stream, because you're just able to sit down, talk, and it's over with, and you're done. I've been making this video that's going to premiere in whatever, half hour or so, for like longer than a week. And I enjoy it, but you're absolutely right. It is tedious. You put a lot of time and effort into it. And sometimes you just, at the end, you're like, man, I could have just gone live and talked for 2 hours and pretty much covered all those points. True. Yeah, it's definitely true. But I do enjoy the video making process, and maybe it's because I've gotten, at least in my opinion, I've gotten better over over 4 years.
And Jeran, do you find like you'll come up with an idea for a video, and then you have no choice but to make it?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it's compelling. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And usually if you go with the flow, it comes.
Yeah, and I've got this problem for some reason where if I'm starting to make a video, I might even have an idea and I say, oh man, I can do this video. It's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And as I start it, I just start thinking of other things, and I pull a clip in. Right. I got to have Neil deGrasse in there. Oh boy, I got to have Vsauce, and I got to pull. And I just, before you know it, the video like this one, Are We Spinning was supposed to be about 5 minutes.
I usually
35.
Make my videos within a day. Sometimes it takes a whole day, but that's for a 3-minute video.
Right. Yeah, I don't think people know how long it takes because, after this, when the thing premieres, it'll be over in 35 minutes and people will say, hey, that was a decent video, or maybe you don't like it or whatever. But there's a lot that goes into those videos versus a live stream where I'm able just to sit down, open up OBS and hit go live, and then I kind of play with the screen, maybe change the screens that you look at or just go to my browser. It's just much different when you actually make a movie or make a video. So I definitely respect now movie makers when I see great videos put together, or I just know what goes into it. So it always impresses me. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So much. And you have to try and correct things that you made a mistake and listen back to it and change graphics. And so sometimes it takes a little bit longer, absolutely. But I totally know what you're saying about the live streams. They're just easier to sit down and do it, and you're done, and they're uploaded, and you don't have to render, and you don't have to upload. It's just done. So it's easier.
Right. And
go ahead.
In my situation, from time to time, being that I'm a van dweller, as it were.
Hashtag van life.
Dude, hashtag van life all day. And the thing is, it's like I have to go to certain locations that have a stronger Wi-Fi signal than others, and I always have to set up my little table here and, okay, hook up the laptop. Okay, download this video. Let's go to this location. There are a few more steps when your computer's not already set up when you walk in. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, so no, I can definitely see why that would be easier. And are you still doing the weekly roundup show, or is that just kind of hit and miss, or is it on a certain day at a certain time?
Yeah, it's still Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, but I didn't do it last weekend. Likely won't do it this Friday, but I should be back next Friday. I'll tell you that. It's just taking some time to step away and just reflect on some things.
Yeah, absolutely. No, sometimes you need to do that. Take a week or so off and just, like you said, go on a social media hiatus. Sometimes you need to do that. So let's go to the next caller. I don't remember if we already took this one or not. Let's go to the 334. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this?
Hey, Jeran, it's Carlos. How's it going?
What's up, Carlos? How are you?
Doing well, man. I was just listening in. I didn't think I was going to get picked up.
You got in. You're here.
All right. Hey, Carlos.
Oh, well. Yeah, what's up, then, Daryl?
Hey,
did you ever get to see the video I sent you?
Wait, what? Say again.
I said I've sent a rebuttal on the pictures of the moon and the Earth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The satellite. You ever get to see that?
Yeah, I did.
What you think about it?
I thought it was interesting, actually, and it made sense. And I'll tell you, in response to that, and I didn't look. I recorded some. I didn't get around to making the video. I actually went to my storage unit. I pulled out my globe, and I set up a little artificial moon and all that, and I zoomed in with my camera from a distance away. And yeah, you were right. You were absolutely right. So, yeah, man. It was just something that we missed. It was something that we missed sometimes.
Yeah, and like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the rest of the stuff is real or wrong. I just like to point out different little details that sometimes we get some of you guys hung up on, and just kind of discredit some of the other stuff. But anyway, I was just wondering. I never heard back from you, so I was wondering if you ever seen it.
Okay, yeah, I saw it.
So what he's talking about, I'm assuming, or oops, I cut him off. Hold on 1 second there, Carlos. Is what he's talking about how the picture of the moon with the Earth behind it, how when you zoom in your camera, it does end up looking like that? Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, how it looks a lot smaller from that distance. And because it was, because there was the one, it was the time lapse. Yeah, the time lapse from the moon transit, and then comparing that to the pictures of the Earth from the moon in air quotes, and if you actually pull your camera back, and I measured it out. I used the yardstick and all that to measure it out, or a tape measure. I had like 100-foot tape measure, and I measured it out to where the camera would be about the simulated 1,000,000 miles away. Taking a picture of the moon in front of the Earth, and yeah, it was about the same size.
Yeah, I've seen Rob Skiba do that same thing, and that's I don't mention that anymore. But there's other videos like Carlos, the one that we just saw. You're still on the line.
Yeah, I'm still on the line.
Okay, so have you seen the images of the Earth? Or I'm sorry, they have some craft in the orbit of the moon recently, and then he took a picture of the Earth, and the Earth is super tiny behind it. Have you seen that one?
Probably. But yeah, it's similar to the one that we were talking about earlier. Yeah.
Oh, okay, it just seems much different to me. They seem to be always different, and I understand the one that the moon transits the Earth from the million miles away. And again, as I've always said before, when it comes down to something that simple, I know NASA's not going to mess up the math. The math is the easy thing for them to get, right? They can exactly, if it's going to be a million miles away, well, they're going to pull their camera back to a certain distance and take a picture of whatever they're faking the Earth with. I think it's just as Eru says, like a painted ball. It could be anything. At this point, it's probably CGI. So they're not going to get it wrong, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, but it was just to point out that if you look at how perspective works and zooming in and out and having a more narrower angle, that you can see how that would actually make sense. And once again, not disproving everything else or proving anything else. I was just pointing out that single fact.
Right, because there's so many. Thanks for the call, appreciate it, Carlos. But there's so many other things that go together with that. When the moon crosses the Earth, it's bright. You can see it as if it's but it's not like a full moon bright. They have it as the dark side, so it's kind of got this haze over it. I don't know. The whole thing just seems fabricated as can be, and we've talked about that on Globebusters before. Dave, do you know what we're talking about?
No.
Oh, well, the picture that we've all seen of the moon that crosses the Earth, and of course, the clouds don't move. That one, yeah. People have said that this isn't the size that the moon would look, or this isn't the size that the Earth would look. But Rob Skiba did a test in a long hallway before where he showed that it that is
the
way
size. It wouldn't look that fake. It looks like a South Park cutout.
It looks terrible.
Actually, Matt used that in his Dear Pastor video as examples of what NASA. You believe NASA, but they want us to believe this, and this, and that's one of them.
Is that
Again, if you haven't seen that video, check it out.
I agree. Check it out. Let's go to the 252 area code. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this?
This is White Tie.
What's up?
Hey, I was going to ask you. I was on YouTube and I was looking at some of these TED Talks, and this chick Sarah T. Stewart has got one called "Where Did the Moon Come From?" A new theory, and I guess she works in some lab where she's got this cannon where they like shoot rocks at each other or something like that to see how they react and stuff. And so she come up with this theory about how the moon, because the moon and the Earth, their elements are the same, whereas in space and the other planets, all of those things, they're different. So we have our moon as our twin, and her theory is that something smashed into the Earth and created both of them, and that's why they both have the same elements. But she was talking that while this was going on...
They both have the same elements because they've never been, in my opinion, they've never been to the moon. So when they bring rocks and tell everybody that they're from the moon, and then they test them and they say, oh, these are the exact same as the Earth. And so now the theory is that the Earth was the moon and that they're both the same. Oh, okay. But, I mean, come on. Anyway, yeah, I'll have to check that out. So you said it was called Where Did the Moon Come From? And it's a TED Talk?
A new theory TED Talk. It's Sarah T. Stewart.
Okay.
But
I got it written down. I'll definitely check it out.
The interesting thing about it is she shows that she's got a little illustration of what the Earth looked like while all this was going on, and she's calling it a synestia, and it looks like a clam. So the Earth is definitely getting flatter with these people. Take a look at it. She'll have a representation. Huh?
Oh, boy. I said, no, I'll definitely check it out. But, yeah, I don't doubt that. And, we've heard Neil deGrasse say that stuff's flat. Now they've got that it's flattening at the poles, that it's wider at the waist. Yeah, it's a pear. And, which is hilarious when you hear a pear, because that's exactly what flat earthers have been saying the whole time, that they're saying that the northern hemisphere, or northern hemiplane, if you will, is smaller than we've been told, and then it expands as you go out, which is funny because that's what a pear is. A pear gets fatter as it goes down.
I used to be a huge fan of TED Talks. There's some really amazing ones there, but I kind of got turned off to them because of how they're really controlled by the mainstream narrative and sold out to big pharma on many topics.
Oh yeah, well yeah, Rupert Sheldrake did a great.
Maybe 80. Yeah,
it's been banned.
Well,
yeah, amazing. And
I think
you think they would have had a flat Earth presentation by now?
Go ahead,
I think they're using it for some mind control tactics.
For sure,
all of it is. Yeah, absolutely, all of it is. All right, well, appreciate the call. Oh, thanks so much. Let's go to this caller. I don't know what this is in the 888 area code.
Uh-oh. Sounds a little shilly.
Well, I'm going to hang up on that one because they hung up. All righty. So I think they hung up. All right, great. So we got a couple minutes left, but one thing I want to get in before we don't have a chance. Daryl, where can people support you if they want to help out, or what can they do to support you? And again, just tell people where they can find you, because what always happens is I start taking calls at the end of the show, and then we get cut off and we don't get to say goodbye and tell people we love them. So, but before we forget and miss out on that, tell people where they can find you and what do you have coming up in future videos, or what do you got on your plate?
All right. Well, you can find me on my YouTube channel, d.marble. Upcoming events, more activism. That's about it. I feel like I've done enough talking and making videos for a while. So, when something comes up, I'll get back on that. But for now, activism.
Can people get your shirts somewhere if they want to support you? Does that help out for people to buy shirts? I don't know where you offer those from.
Yeah, that's on teespring.com/official FE Offensive. I believe is the storefront name, and or at paypal.me/FE Offensive. I could be wrong. I hardly ever spout those out, so it's all good.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think that it's awesome when now that we can offer these shirts with Teespring or whatever, because if people want a shirt and they're willing to buy it, and I think that mine are set so I make $2, $3, $4 on like a shirt, or maybe I think it's $2 on a shirt and $6 on a sweater or something like that. But hey, if people are getting something for it, that's awesome. And I'll just remind everybody again that my Amazon link is no longer valid. My account has been shut down. They responded to my appeal and said absolutely not. And then what we did is Miss and I started a new account in her name, and I said, okay, you just go through the process. She set it all up, and we said, okay, let's see what happens. And a day later, we got a message saying, nope, you are obviously affiliated with another member that we have shut down, and therefore your account's closed. So no more trying on that one. Missa tried, she got denied. I've obviously been denied. So if you use that link, I'm just letting you guys know that you will not be supporting me, but supporting Amazon. But that's up to you. But just to let everybody know, because I know some people had bookmarked that link, that it no longer will make any money for me. So if you want to donate to me, as always, you can use paypal.me/Jeran, or if you want to become a patron, patreon.com/Jeranism. So just want to get those in before we get too far. David, any thing you want to mention before we head out today?
The way you can support me is every single day, talk to somebody about Flat Earth that doesn't know about it. Give them a video, put a sticker on their car anonymously. Just do something. Bring up the topic. Wear a T-shirt. Start a conversation. Leave a card. Random person. Anybody. Just everybody does that every day. It would be huge.
I totally agree. Yeah, for all of our videos, like the video, share the video. If you don't like it, obviously you're not going to share it. But I don't think people realize how important that is. And now that I've been trying to look a little bit more at my analytics, I've been noticing, a huge obvious trend. I guess it's not something that I should call like a surprise. It should be obvious. But the videos of mine that have the most views obviously have by far the most shares. So I can, I guess that's not surprising. But at the same time, it just kind of tells me that when people share the video, it gets more views. So a lot of people can't support monetarily. I completely understand that. So just watching the videos, if you like them, share them. And like I've said before, If you are a little bit timid about it, put it on your social media and just say, this guy actually believes the earth is flat. Check this video out. And just leave it at that. And this way it's not bad on you. You can get away with saying, oh, I just thought it was funny that this guy believes the earth is flat. And put it on me because I have no problem speaking about it. It's just my opinion. And again, you can believe all the things that you're taught if you want. That's absolutely fine by me. I try to make a point in every video to say clearly that not to trust me. And I'm sure that Dave would say the same thing, and I'm sure Daryl would say the same thing.
I would definitely say, definitely don't trust Jeran.
No, that's not what I meant. You misunderstood. No, I totally agree. Don't trust me. It's just not a smart thing. This is what got us into the trouble that we're all in the first place, was just simply trusting people and believing every word that they said. Again, check out my video here coming out shortly. Talking about Are We Spinning? They've given us so many different little excuses for it. It's the same as being on an airplane. And when nobody asks the follow-up questions of, well, where's the ceiling of this airplane that we're on? When you're on an airplane, it's got walls, it's got a roof, it's got a floor, everything's contained. So of course, everything in the airplane is being carried by the airplane. Well, they try and compare that to the Earth. Well, how different are the Earth and an airplane? The Earth is a wide open system. We can send rockets from the Earth, they say, to the moon. We can send men up into space. But can you do that from an airplane? Well, clearly not. You'd hit the roof. You'd hit the ceiling. So it's completely different. And again, they always want to tell you that. They always want to give you all these excuses. Oh, all the air moves with the Earth, and it all moves the same speed. You have to think about how ridiculous the explanations are when there's a simple answer. And it's just simple. We don't move. Daryl, what do you think?
That is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, those are the program responses that we always get to those type of observations. So yeah, I'm going to check out that video as soon as we're done here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It'll be premiering. It'll be my first time doing that. So I guess say hello in the chat. I don't know if I'll have more fun just talking to people or if I'm going to be banning people the whole time for their dirtball comments. I'm sure it'll be
I've
one
already
or the other.
banned somebody.
Yeah, see how quickly it is? Or are you actually over there looking? Sorry, I'm looking at the call board.
Yes.
All right, well, we got a few minutes left, but we've already got in our plugs, and we know where to find Daryl, myself, and David. So let's go to the next caller at the 224 area code. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this?
This is Tim from Chicago.
What's up, Tim?
Yeah, I love your show. Daryl, you're awesome. Did you know that YouTube changed their settings on live streaming from a cellular device?
Wait, what happened there, Tim?
They said you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can even live stream from your cellular device.
I think that's normal. Hasn't it always been there?
Might be that. I think I remember that.
No,
oh, really? It's new?
Nope. Just got the message. Just changed. So I'm a Flat Earth City in Chicago, and I do activism on the street with Realm Walker.
Oh, awesome!
And,
I knew. I recognize the voice. You're the sandwich board guy.
Yep, Sandwich Week. They just changed it, and I can't do that. Can't do that anymore. So.
How many subs do you have?
I have almost 500.
All right, well, let's get you some more. So what's the channel name? Say it clearly, spell it out for us so I can go there now and sub, and other people can do the same. What is it?
Sure, Flat Earth City.
So Flat Earth City, 3 words.
It's all one word.
Together or one word?
All right, all one word. Flat
all
Earth City.
Together.
Gotcha.
466 subs.
Okay, well, I'm about to sub now, so you're going to have another one. So.
Subbed.
Okay. So, yeah, I haven't really – the channel is mostly just for the people that I go and talk to on the street so that I can tell them this is where you're going to be, like you can come and look at yourself. And then also hopefully trying to get some other Flat Earth people out doing activism, so –
Absolutely.
But they kind of shut me down. Some kind of censorship going on there too.
Anything they can do.
Nobody. I guess it was pretty much just mostly everybody could just go live on their YouTube channel. But,
all right, well, appreciate the call. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you, Daryl. We'll be back next week, guys. Peace.
All right. Later.
Awesome.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR-LIVE. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Trump's shakeup, the Russia probe. I'm Ann Cates. A shakeup at Homeland Security with the secretary and the head of the Secret Service being ousted. Correspondent Pamela Brown reports the purging is not over.
The ICE director's nomination withdrawn last Friday. Now Kirstjen Nielsen leaving the Department of Homeland Security, and we have learned that he wants to see other top officials at DHS go, including the General Counsel, where I'm also told that the White House is now looking at other DHS nominations that are in the pipeline and possibly looking to withdraw those nominations as well.
The lead investigator into Russian meddling in the election and any Trump campaign ties to the Kremlin will be called to Capitol Hill. Correspondent Manu Raju.
Jerry Nadler, the House Judiciary Committee chairman, made it very clear that the special counsel Robert Mueller will be testifying in public before his committee, but he said they would happen after Bill Barr, the Attorney General, talks before this committee on May 2nd. And all that presumably would occur after Barr releases at least a redacted version of the Mueller report, as he said, by mid-April.
Barr will appear before the House Appropriations Committee tomorrow, and lawmakers are expected to question him about the Mueller report. A Chinese national remains in custody for allegedly trying to breach President Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Florida last month. Correspondent Kaylee Hartung.
Prosecutors revealing that investigators are probing whether she's a Chinese spy who was trying to infiltrate the president's resort after uncovering a trove of electronic devices in her possession. Found in Zhang's hotel room at the Colony Hotel in Palm Beach, 1 cell phone, 1 signal detector, 9 USB drives, 5 SIM cards, and several credit cards in her name, as well as $7,500 and $100 bills, a total of more than $8,000 in cash, including Chinese currency.
A mixed day of trading on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 84 points. The S&P closed up 3. The Nasdaq up 15. I'm Ann Cates.
Into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is preparing all his survival supplies with the help of Mark Sargent's survival guide. I noticed he forgot to name it. It's called Empty Shelves, by the way. Why is he so worried, you may ask? Starquakes. NASA has been examining starquakes to find exoplanets. Luckily, they've been using the test system and have scanned 85% of the sky. Guess it's not such a big damn sky after all. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube, you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not April 2nd, 2019, then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this. And it's, by the way, it's by a guy named William Makepeace, part of his Rhymes for April. Getting a little flowery here. Let me sing the pleasures of returning spring. Fools are made by far the worst on other days besides the first. Yeah, there you go. William Makepeace. The Mark Sargent 2019 challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a self-contained spacesuit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and pull the switch. Find out what happens. For more information on this, please check out Flat Earth Clues Part 13, otherwise known as The Lost Nail. Let's see here. Announcements. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do this and I'm going to erase it as soon as I do it because I've done this now 3 weeks in a row, and it's tomorrow. Hey, Mark, can you announce that I will be going on the Non Sequitur show on April 3rd at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will be debating Tom Jump, a very impressive atheist. Will be very little theist presence there, so if you want, please announce. Get some theists over there for it. If you don't want to announce, no problem. That's from Jeffrey Grupp. So please, anyone's going to be around. It is tomorrow on the next Non Sequitur show, April 3rd, 4 p.m. Central, which is 2 Pacific and 5 Eastern. What else? Got to get back to that. Sorry, I have just completely lost my place. 1 second. Okay. First off, thank you to the high school, otherwise known as Capital Area School for the Arts Charter School, and that's in Pennsylvania, United States. And they sent me a lovely, I did a thing with them, and I didn't record it. I'm sorry. We did Google Hangouts, so we didn't record it. And they sent me a fantastic custom-made We Are Mark Sargent shirt, black with teal lettering, and a nice water bottle. And a card. And I will show that off on Patricia Steer's show. We are not doing Patricia Steer, Flat Earth, and Other Hot Potatoes tomorrow. She has the day off, which, why not? I mean, there's so much stuff going on that, Patricia needs a day off. Also wanted to mention the Sacramento meetup by F.E. Mishka. So if you want to check that out, all you have to do is type in Flat Earth Meetup Sacramento into YouTube, and it'll pop right up there. In fact, several people have mirrored it. I will not be at this one, but Mishka I know is going to be there, and a whole bunch of other cool people. I'm going to be down at the Flat Earth New Zealand Conference, which segues into the Flat Earth New Zealand Conference. I will be down there from the 24th until the 6th. And then just to rattle off the other conferences really quick, don't forget the Calgary Conference is going to be May 18th. Well, I'm going to be there May 18th to 23rd. The UK Conference is going to be in September, the second week of September, followed by the Mount Shasta Conference, which is the third week of September. Amsterdam is the last week of September. And then, of course, we finish off the year with the big U.S. conference in Dallas. Two other things to mention, and then we are going to do some phone calls tonight. And the phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That number again is 213-233-3998. I am doing a special live interview with a YouTube channel that I've never spoken with before until just recently, and the YouTube channel is called Viva Fry, which is VIVA space FREI. He's got about 50,000 subs, and he wanted to talk about Flat Earth, and so he reached out to me, and I know that he's a lawyer in his professional career, and it's like, you know what? He seemed like a nice guy. We talked for a while, and so we're not going to do a pre-record interview. We're gonna do it live, as Bill O'Reilly would say, and be fun. So it's going to be Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon on the East Coast, and everything else in between. So check that out on Viva Fried. You'll see the promos for it. He's going to be promoting this thing quite a bit. But if anyone wants to jump into the chat room or ask questions or whatever, it should be a fairly civil conversation. I don't know how many moderators he has yet for the chat room, so hope he's ready for it. I tried to tell him it was polarizing. Also, well, you know what? Let's make this the last headline or the last announcement, which is don't forget, if you haven't already gotten the Flat Earth Sun and Moon app from YouTube channel DITRH, otherwise known as Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, please do so. There you go. That's all I got. And now let's go to some phone calls, and then during the other times when I'm not taking calls, there's so many little news stories I want to mention between the Trogan Paul thing that came out and the Flat Earth Cruise headlines, which are completely false, which we'll get into. And, of course, yesterday was April Fool's Day, so there were a lot of stories that jumped on Flat Earth. On top of that, we got a lot to talk about. But first, let's pick up some phone calls. I'm going to pick up 304 first, then 214, then 905, and then we'll see where we go from there. 304, you're on with Strange World and me, and it's a Flat Earth Tuesday. So what's happening with you?
Hey, Mark. Just a quick shout out to the Peanut Gallery. Hey, man. And a shout out to Ray Goodwin, the surveyor. Waiting to hear from him in a while.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Aquaman movie?
I have not seen the new Aquaman movie. I will. I believe, though, you're not the first person that's going to mention this. I heard there are some Flat Earth / enclosed world references in there.
Oh, crap. They beat me to it.
Well, it's been out for a little while.
Indeed, there are.
Peanut Gallery says, good movie. I'll be the judge of that. I'm a big movie guy. Anyway, go ahead. No, go ahead and say it. What did you see in Aquaman?
No, I was watching it with my wife, and of course, as soon as the words "Flat Earth" came up, she scrunches her cheeks up, rolls her nose up, and just looks over at me and just kind of chuckles. Of course, she's not a flat earther yet. So I pause it and I rewind it and I play it back, and she just starts cracking up at me. Anytime Flat Earth comes out in a movie, she catches it too.
Yeah. I mean, the writers,
good stuff.
Yeah, the writers that are out there, they've got to get their material from somewhere, and they are inspired by just about anything. And Flat Earth is still trending in a huge, huge way. So why wouldn't they?
Oh yeah. Now, maybe they're letting it out slowly. I mean, truth hidden in plain sight. Don't know.
Yeah.
Another thing, have you seen the movie Rollerball with Keanu Reeves, the old one?
Keanu Reeves isn't in the old one. You mean, the first one from the 70s, or the remake from the 90s?
Not 90s. Yeah, not the old one.
The original one from the 70s with James Caan. That was really cool, considering what special effects they had to work with. Yeah, I do. I have not seen that one in a while. What made you decide to watch it?
Oh, I watched it when it came out, but I was just wondering if you could do in your Russian voice, the Jonathan thing they were calling at the end.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't have that one memorized. So it'd be nice to, but sorry, I can't do it because I think I only saw it maybe twice, and I mean it was okay, but I was a real sucker for the first one. The first one was groundbreaking for, I think it was like 1975, 1976. And I didn't see it in the theater, obviously, but it was still really, really cool.
Oh yeah, no, that but yeah, it was just a little play on Jonathan from Jersey. I don't know if you wanted to touch on that any or not. If you'd heard from him.
I have not heard from him. I'm hoping that he reaches out to me eventually, because again, I am not at fault here. You guys know the story. I've told it many, many times, and. I understand that, he is more emotional than I am in some aspects. But come on. I mean, he could absolutely get back into the fold if he wanted to. I mean, he was there. He was there in 2015. I mean, he was being, I'll give you a quick thing. He was being screen tested for the very first group production team that reached out to us for screen tests in the end of 2015. Jonathan was one of these people. And it's, again, he was there. He was literally with me. He was the only reason really the Strange World is continuing on is because Jonathan was there with me when this thing started back in 2015, and he was instrumental in it. And I'm sorry he fell away, and I'm sorry he fell on hard times, but I mean, come on, you don't leave the agency. nobody leaves flat Earth, and I know he wasn't a diehard flat earther, but I know he could get back into it in 2 seconds if he wanted to, and I would be happy to help him back in if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Good deal, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the call.
Yeah, and so when you going to start? Wait, are you, I was going to do a Russian voice, but I couldn't figure out a question for the guild. So, so what do you do? Like every day in guild.
What do I do when I play? When I can get on if I'm not dead tired.
Yeah.
I just try to do player versus player. Little PvP, bang heads, and get flat earth out there.
PvP. It's a young man's game. PvP. I know I dig PvP, but I got to tell you, after playing for 14 years, having the PvP turned off for the whole world, it was such a nice thing for me. There's just too many freaking horde, and I do not regret it at all, because and I think I told you, when I'm running around and I see all those orange players, when I'm like the only guy, the only alliance in a sea of orange players, it's like, oh yeah, that was absolutely the right decision to stay. Oh yeah, I would have been crushed, just absolutely crushed. I mean, just on friendly fire, or I should say, bloodlust alone, they would have killed me. So whatever.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, good times.
Yeah. Well.
Good times.
Is that it? That's all you got?
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't want to hog too much time. Just wanted to catch up and see what you're doing.
Cool. All right, man. Well, hey, have a good one, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right, Mark. Take it easy.
Okay. All right, so let's jump over to 214 area code. 214, you're on with Strange World and me, and we're just kind of hanging out. What's going on?
Hello, Mark. Jen in Dallas. I listened last week. I thought when Chris Pontius talked about that Flat Earth Museum and Park, what a fabulous idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm not kidding you. If I come into some disposable income that I can throw at him to do a Flat Earth Museum, I know it would generate a lot of headlines.
Mhm. Oh, he seems to be a creative genius, and he could sure help put that together. And then your pledge to him, I thought, was just really great. And since Nathan mentioned Jonathan, I called into when he had that show, and I was able to talk to Sean McCrary, and I really did appreciate that from Jonathan, and I hope he's doing okay too.
Yeah.
And and I wanted to say hello to Michelle and Jake at 901. He calls a spade, and I like that. And Nathan, who was just on West Virginia, he gave me a shout-out last month, and I nearly fell off my sofa, and I wanted to say hello. And I don't know if he's heard this, that Werner von Braun, I heard, became a Christian before he died.
Really?
And I wouldn't say if it weren't from a reputable source. And then there's a French gentleman in Quebec, and I hope he calls in and talks with you sometime. He's very interesting.
All right. I won't turn him down. And by the way, the Werner von Braun thing, that would be really cool, because that would make sense, because as you and a lot of other people know, his headstone on his grave says Psalms 19:1. You know, it's a very modest gravesite, and it says Psalms 19:1. And if you guys don't know what that is, it says, "And the firmament showeth his handiwork."
Yes, so simply put too.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Well, and if you could put me on mute, Mark, so I can listen to the rest of the show.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Okay, thank you.
That was Jan from Dallas. All right. So Jan is now muted. I rarely kick anybody off. I have hardly ever had to use the kick button because trolls don't like calling in because they're scared. They are afraid. Hang on here in Peanut Gallery. Yeah, I know. Peanut Gallery wants a quote for Jan. And she's listening. It's okay. The quote is, crash programs fail because they are based on theory that with 9 women pregnant, you can get a baby in a month. What? That's from Verb on Braun. Nice. Wow, that's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and he also says, sell your WoW gold for real money. Yeah, he knows the story about how I actually thought that was a great idea once. And after I did it the first time, I was put on a watch list by Blizzard, and the second time they destroyed my account. They basically executed him on site. Okay, let's pick up 905, area code 905. You're on with Strange World. What's happening?
Oh, not much, Mark. How are you?
You know, I can't really complain. I'm just now getting over my head cold and, having a little wine and relaxing for the evening.
Well, the walking pneumonia is off, so that's good.
Yes. Walking pneumonia, I don't know if I actually had that. If I did, whoa, that's not good. But, it's going around. I probably caught it from an email.
So, yes.
Yeah.
The trolls, they attach them.
Yeah, I hear they attach.
But everyone.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. When they say viruses, that's what they mean, right? It's like a flu virus. I don't know. I don't know anything about computers. Anyway, what's this microphone for? Hey, what's going on with you?
Okay, so everyone I work with knows I'm a flat earther, but I don't shove it down their throats, right?
Right.
So 2 more today were actually it was Monday, so after the weekend. Do you know Mark Sargent and Patricia? And yeah, I do. And so they watched Beyond the Curve on Netflix.
Behind the Curve, but I will take Beyond the Curve because I hear that a lot. That's okay. That's right.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so
they watched it.
One of the guys, he watched it in full, and the other one, she's so sweet and innocent, and I love her to death, but she was like, so Mark and Patricia, I want them to get married.
Oh, no.
And I had to, I was like, I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen.
Really?
And
you said that? How do you know it's not going to happen exactly? I mean, it's possible that you figured out that I'm secretly gay, but I doubt that because I put off a lot of serious all-male charisma. But seriously, you told him that? You said, no, it's not going to happen?
Well, don't get your hopes up.
But that sounds like a challenge. And Peanut Gallery, and now you're not helping me because Peanut Gallery says she's way out of your league, anyways, in all caps. Nice. And he follows up with probably out of everybody's league. Actually, it's amazing though that you said that you say that because I had bunches of people that have asked me that privately. Outside the film, in fact, the one in Arkansas was probably the most blatant. I saw it at a film festival in Little Rock, and the lights came up, and they knew I was coming up to the stage, and I sat down, and there was a group of people staring at me, and that was literally the first question out of the gate, which was, it's like, so, what about Patricia? Because of how it was shot and how it was edited. They portrayed that whole, just below the surface sort of romance thing. And, I mean, for me, you got to remember, it was in 2017 and I had just gotten back from Canada and, Patricia has that effect on people anyway, because she's just her. I mean, she's the ultimate in class and elegance. So. But anyway, thanks for shooting.
I know you're good friends.
Yeah, we are.
It's good friends.
Oh, I know.
I'm yeah. But
anyway, so why? Because they wait. So who said this? The woman you were talking to? She was the one that was hoping that.
Yeah, the nice young 20-ish, little over 20-year-old. She's like, I just hope they get married one day.
And
wow. Yeah, there's the whole we're on TFR, so the incelibate or the incel, involuntary celibate people that are apparently a thing.
Right.
And I'm involuntary celibate, but doesn't mean I'm going to kill anyone. It just means you haven't met anyone that's awake to flat Earth and truth.
Yeah, that is the tough thing, which is, and you've heard this many times, which is you've got to, I mean, if you're into flat Earth, you have got to get a relationship with a flat earther. If you go with somebody that's not, you're doomed. There's nothing you can do.
Oh yeah.
It is going to crash and burn. One of the things I'm kind of nervous about with getting married, like to somebody, like Patricia in this case, because we've been doing our co-host thing, we've done a documentary together, and so on, is that I've run into couples that were really great until they got married, and then for whatever reason, it was like metaphorically, they were in a room that all of a sudden had a lock on the door. And they were all of a sudden, even though this room did not change, it's like, oh, wait a minute, we're actually in this room together and it's permanent, right? The option of freedom wasn't there anymore, and it collapsed almost always. And so I'm not saying that would happen. That would happen with Patricia and I, but we probably shouldn't be talking about this on air anyway, because she's probably just dying, going, oh my god. By the way, I'm supposed to hang on. Oh yeah. Besides, Ginger, you did not know this, but I have a secret flat Earth woman that I've got my eyes on.
Oh.
And her name
Arizona. Be disappointed.
No. Her name may or may not be F.E. Mishka. I'm just saying. It's very possible that she and I are secretly dating. So, and I don't know if we will reveal that at the Mount Shasta conference at the end of the year or not. But I was reminded about that. Anyway, anything else I could do for you before we go to our first break?
Don't tear apart the guild.
The guild? Oh no, the guild's not going anywhere.
The guild, yeah.
I never, just so you know, I didn't.
Well, no, there's going to be you and Mishka's ex in the guild. They're going to take sides.
What? No. The guild's fine. There's nothing wrong with the Flat Earth Guild. Look, I'm not even a big guild guy. But since the guild is called Flat Earth, I'm absolutely into it, because that means when I'm compiling videos or whatever I'm doing online, while I'm going and while I'm compiling these things, I could jump into the game and I'm really running around with a Flat Earth banner over my head at all times. And some people yell at me and some people spit on me, but that's fine. I don't care. Flat Earth forever. All right, man. Go ahead.
I just laugh at Warcraft. I just laughed at Warcraft because I don't do it. So that's me being a dick.
14 years. So I'm sorry. Man. How can you not play a game that's been around for 14 years? That's a long time. All right. Anyway, we're going to a commercial break. So thank you for calling in, and we will talk soon, probably even during the after show.
Sounds good.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Looking forward to Joe Jackson.
Of course you are.
Joe Jackson.
All right. The number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Look at that. There's music. Back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Tell me about the waters of your homeland, Morty.
It is well known that the key to escaping the Matrix is purifying your consciousness. But our consciousness is bombarded daily with chemicals in the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water we drink. This is why we are proud to bring you TFRwater.com, where you can get the Alexa Pure water filtration system. Unlike typical water filters, the Alexa Pure comes standard in stainless steel to keep your water free of BPA and dangerous chemicals found in plastic. This revolutionary water filtration system removes 99.999% of all contaminants, including fluoride, a dangerous neurotoxin added to drinking water, which was first used in Russian gulags to keep prisoners docile. This is standard without the need for expensive add-ons. The Alexa Pure retails for $199, but you can get $50 off by going to TFRwater.com now. Supplies are limited. 4 per person.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
He was the deputy director of MI6. Britain's most senior diplomat. He was knighted by the Queen and in charge of thousands of highly trained spies. But he was also a member of the Paedophile Information Exchange. He had 45 diaries full of sex fantasies with children. His friend was the private secretary of Margaret Thatcher. He strangled a child and hit another with his car. He raped young boys and organized orgies with children for other politicians.
The Enigma Channel, intelligent television for planet Earth. EnigmaTV.com.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are DFR, your protection from deception.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It is a call-in show. Number is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. All right, who are we going to pick up first? Let's pick up 916. 916, you're on with Strange World right now. Who be this?
Hi, honey. I was just on my way home and wanted to see if you needed anything from the store.
Oh, this is awkward. This is the show line. You're not supposed to call in on the show line.
Oh no. Well,
I know. Okay, so it's right. Pretend that you're somebody else and that you want to talk about the Sacramento meetup that's happening.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. It's May 4th. This awesome person, F.U. Mishka, Michelle, is putting it on with her friend Caleb, and it's going to be great. And it's
Nice.
at McKinley Park, noon. Be there, be spherical.
No, I heard that Michelle does good meetups and that she's not terrible looking. So.
Yeah, if you guys haven't figured it out, it's me. And oh my God! First off, Jan. I already had Jan like in big letters on my I always write notes from last week. So
right.
She was on my list already, number one. And so I have a quote for Jan, and also for Patricia too.
Okay.
So it says, "The beauty of a woman is not in the clothes she wears, the figure that she carries, or the way she combs her hair. The beauty of a woman is seen in her eyes, because that is the doorway to her heart, the place where love resides. True beauty in a woman is reflected in her soul. It is caring that she lovingly gives, the passion that she shows, and the beauty of a woman only grows with passing years." And that was by Audrey Hepburn.
Wow, that's beautiful. I like it.
Patricia has beautiful eyes, and she's very elegant. And I don't know what Jan's eyes look like, but I'm sure they are beautiful.
Aww.
She's awesome. Jan, you're awesome.
That's a ringing endorsement, because Mishka doesn't say that about a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. I'm nice every now and again.
Yeah.
And then, the whole, well, I guess this is going to kind of ruin everything. I was going to touch on the flat earth dating thing, like can't have a non-flat earther significant other. So,
that's true.
I guess I could call it my boyfriend is not a flat earther, and it was a little rough at first, but let's see, I learned about flat earth 2016, 2019. We've been together for almost 4 years. So for basically 3 years of that, he's dealt with me in this journey. And it's been fantastic. He lets me do me. I've been in the conferences with you guys, no problem. And
when it falls through, just so you know, you have a few options out there. Just letting you know.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I was worried.
Even though you are way too young for me, I just got to throw that out there, because you're what, 28 or something like that?
No. Oh, you're so sweet. I'll be 31 this year.
Wow.
Not much older than that, but you're not too old, Mark. I like them with a little silver. Silver fox.
Oh, you are so kind. We're gonna have to flirt later off air. Anything else you want to?
I know. No, that's it.
Wait! Before you go, wait a minute. Okay. Peanut Gallery wanted to mention that. Did you know that the meetup you're doing is actually on Star Wars Day?
Yes, may the 4th be with you. And actually, we did it on this same day last year. Just so happened to work out. We didn't even plan for that.
Oh. No. Well, there you go. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah. And Zulu One, Karen B, Brian Burton, Peanut Gallery, and who else is in there? Everybody else. All right, love y'all. Patricia. All right, peace.
All right, see ya.
Have a good night, Mark.
All
right, bye.
Okay, that was Michelle. Let's jump over to what appears to be New York. 914, you're on with Strange World, and it's getting late out there. It's 10:30 your time.
Yes, it is, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, very good. Very good. I'll tell you, you're doing such a fantastic job here.
Well, thank you.
I mean, really.
I try.
Right.
Did you see, by the way, did you catch the thing, the last minute Australian Today show that I did?
I caught the St. Louis College, just the last video he put out with. And
yeah, the college, college did from. Actually, that was for that particular college is in Vermont.
Oh, that's right. That's in Vermont. That's right. Yeah. Excellent. I mean, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Right,
so what's happening?
What's going on? I got to lower my voice for some reason. I don't know why. Is my voice that deep and that arrogant? Mark, I want to talk about David Weiss's video that he did last night. I mean, which was absolutely fantastic. I mean, the sun going back and the sunset there was just perfect. I mean, it just disappeared right off the marker.
Nice.
What do you think about that? I mean, that was probably the best that he's ever done.
I think synchronicity, because he and Karen released sun videos both within 24 hours of each other or 48 hours of each other, and I think they both did tremendous jobs.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, David just keeps getting better and better. He is a fantastic ambassador for Flat Earth, and I hope that he gets some breaks. You know, he was supposed to do a big podcast in New York recently, and they changed their mind, but it's all right. Everything for a reason, and I think David has a big role to play before this is said and done.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was great to show how I mean, obviously the sun is not going over anything at all. It's just disappearing off into the out of sight for all of us, and that's what people have to understand. And then the moon is doing the same thing too. We can't seem to capture that. That one thing is about the moon. That is one thing we can't seem to capture about the moon. We can't get it on going away from us or anything like that, because it moves all over the right. It's just it's amazing how when you really look up at the sky and you understand what's going on up there.
Yep. Anything else I can do for you this evening?
I don't know. Just got in trouble out here. I mean, Jesus, I thought I had two closed.
Are you in a park? Are there neighbors yelling at you, or is this family?
Yeah, no, I have family and neighbors too. It's unbelievable. Now I got to walk around outside with an umbrella to really tell you everything about what's going on. But that's what I have to go through out here. But
that's all right.
All right,
Again,
I'll tell you.
You're persevering.
I am. I'm sure to do the best I can, Mark. I mean, this is all I can do.
That's
after
cool.
a couple of years now. I appreciate you taking my area code, and I don't want to take up any more time.
Oh no, it's okay, man. And don't be shy. I'm around, and I try to listen to your stuff when I can. It's just there's so much content coming out now that it's tough to keep up. We're in the middle of a massive media wave as we speak. So.
Everything that's going on your channel right now, you're exploding. It's unbelievable. I can't even I can't even believe you have enough time to have lunch.
It's getting a little tougher, that's for sure. It's going to get really dicey here when I go to the because I'm doing the New Zealand conference and then the Calgary conference as soon as I get back. Then I've got the summer to kind of mess with documentaries, and the end of the year. September is going to be really tricky because there's 3 conferences and possibly a 4th in Sweden, and I don't know if I'm going to try them, see if I can do it all. Why not? I'm not married. What the heck I got to lose? See if I can survive it.
You'll survive it. Don't worry about it, my brother. There's no doubt. But
all right,
you're
man.
doing an excellent job. I just put everybody out there. All right.
All right. Hey, we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Hopefully.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right. Let's jump over to, oh, boy. See, you guys don't see the call board I'm seeing, and so I'm seeing this red blinking light that says possible infiltrator. I've got a funny feeling this person may be the remnants of the Soviet intelligence network. So... 920, are you there? He said wincingly. Your name's Irene. You're from Belarus. Your cover story is you live in America now, and you're not doing anything suspicious ever. You certainly didn't have anything to do with the Trump election, and you're not trying to work on the 2020 election as well. Is that about right?
Of course not. I mean, I have to have an accent for that. If anybody's in the KGB, it's you.
Okay, that's fine. You realize there's like 5 different agencies now listening to this call, and
you have no idea.
Nice. That's what I like to hear.
You think I'm joking, right?
Exactly. Yeah, just feed the fire. That's what you want to do. Yeah, before it's over, they're gonna claim that you and I we were the reason why Trump got elected. So
Peanut Gallery beat me to it. I was going to mention maybe the fourth.
Well, he's pretty quick. He looks up a lot of stuff. That and he's got access to a whole room of people. So we call it the Peanut Gallery, but really it's just a whole wing of the building, and this is kind of fun for them when we do the show. Anyway, what's going on with you other than the Star Wars Day?
Oh, not much. Do you just gonna bring something up besides the flat Earth?
Yeah, bring up whatever you want. That's all right. I mean, we've been talking about spy stuff for 2 minutes. Bring up whatever you want.
And not the spy stuff. I'm just want to pick your brain a bit on the Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect?
Mandela?
The Mandelta effect? You see what I'm doing there, right? You see what I'm doing there?
No.
Yes. I believe the Mandela effect is real. Yes, I do. But it is the toughest thing to prove ever because it's based on human memory only and majority rules. So if 15 people believe it was the Berenstain Bears and 5 of them think it was the Berenstein Bears, who's right? Do you go with the majority, or do you think it's strange that more than one person remembers it differently? But yeah, I absolutely believe in that sort of thing. Mostly because what I have seen, Peanut Gallery says he's right no matter what the answer is. But here's the thing. I've seen things in software. If this world is software, if God is a program, I have seen things when and perfect example. If you want a simple example, take a Word document and just save over the top of it over and over again for a period of a few weeks. Just type in a few different things and use it like my to-do list. Eventually, things will start happening to that list. It'll be like a ghosting effect. The things will start popping into that, or at least it used to years ago, and it shouldn't make any sense. And from a logical software standpoint, it should not happen, but it does happen. How do you explain it? I mean, people, even now, it's 2019. How many times you hear, oh, there's something going on with the computer. Hey, have you rebooted it recently? Why should that have anything to do with it? It's 2019. We've been using that to fix computers now for 30 years, and it still works. Why? Because computers are part magic, in my opinion. So, sorry, that's my long-winded answer of, yes, I do believe in the Mandela effect.
Okay, so you think it's a software glitch sort of thing?
I think it's a glitch. You want to use a movie reference? A glitch in the Matrix. Absolutely. I don't think the glitch in the Matrix, with the black cat walking by twice, I don't think that was just some random thing that a writer came up with. I think that sort of thing happens to us all the time. What's deja vu for us? How do people explain that? How do people explain synchronicity and all the weird timing things that happen with us all over, where you're thinking about something and all of a sudden it's there in front of you? Not the talking stuff where the mobile phones will give you an advertisement for something you were talking about, because that's just creepy and agency related. But yeah, I do think it's part of the system we live in, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
All right. Is that
I'm just thinking about it. I'm not really
that's all right.
having much of a theory yet. But
there's lots of people who believe in the Mandela effect, lots of them. But again, it's tough to prove. It's kind of like those time loop movies where if you ever seen all the time, like Groundhog Day or an episode of Stargate or the episode of Outer Limits or Twilight Zone, where all of a sudden you're going through the same day again and you're trying to explain to somebody, no, we did this yesterday. But the only one that remembered it yesterday was you, because you were the only, everybody else was erased. All the other, the memories were erased from people. So that's what we're kind of talking about here, where it's like, yeah, you remember whatever it is, the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood or Interview with a Vampire or so on and so on. You remember this, but how do you explain that to somebody who doesn't remember it that way? It's tough. It's one of those cool phenomena where lots of people are into it, but the argument goes nowhere because it's your word versus theirs, your recollection versus theirs, and
right.
Majority all. So, anyway, sorry, I rambled.
I thought what was I thinking? Oh.
I don't know.
I thought it was just happening to me. I didn't know it was actually a thing.
No, are you kidding?
Until recently.
If it was just happening to you, could I have come up with the jokes Mandelta and Mandetta and the urban version Mandingo effect? No, it happens to a lot of people. Ton of people out there. Seriously, I mean, go on to YouTube and type in the Mandela effect. Tons of people are into
I did. I heard about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look it up what it is, because a lot of people in conspiracy areas were, throwing that term around, but nobody would explain what the heck it is.
Well,
and I did, and I'm like, oh wow, okay.
It's based off of memory, but at the same time, I think it's also based off of the system, a glitch in the matrix. I do. I think because I've seen it. Look, I've been in the tech industry ever before there was a tech industry. I was in it, and I can tell you the computers. If you've been hung out with computers long enough, there's some weird stuff that happens in computers that I've seen the best software guys ever just throw their hands up and say, I have no freaking idea why I did this. Just reboot and hope it doesn't happen again. And it's like that shouldn't be possible. Computers shouldn't be running on partial magic, but they do. Anyway, so.
Well, if anybody familiar, any of the listeners, there's a YouTube channel, Face Like the Sun.
Yeah.
And
I know Face Like the Sun. I interviewed with Face Like the Sun.
And he does this whole thing about basically, yes, like a computer program. The world is like a computer program that's running, and I can't really put it to words. It's very interesting if you listen to it. And this.
Yeah, I believe it.
He describes it as a virus, but he doesn't believe in the Mandela effect, from what I understand.
Well, I mean,
he describes it like a virus sort of thing.
I don't think it's a virus. I don't think it's a virus because viruses tend to be systemic in nature. They tend to spread, and things get worse and worse, and then there's a collapse. If she doesn't want to call it the Mandela effect, that's fine. But it's a catchy term, and it's a great intro, because if you're old enough, you remember the whole thing with Mandela. Either he died or he didn't die. And so, I mean, if she wants to hold on to a software side of it without linking it to Mandela, that's fine. But everybody knows, everybody's walked around, everybody's run into those weird points in their life where there's weird little synchronicity things, both good and bad. And you got to explain it some way. And look, our life now, I mean, we hold the informational power of the gods in our hands at all times now. There's 6 billion smartphones in the world. And how do you even explain a smartphone to someone even 20 years ago? How do you do that? It's we're pretty much at the apex of, I think, our information is in our civilization. The Google eyeglass thing, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Anyway, I hate to do this to you, but it is a call-in show, and I have to pick up some people. So sorry, you have to go back to your agency and
my bunker.
Yeah, your bunker. Work on your poison darts. And how to strangle somebody with a telephone cord and all whatever you guys do out down there. All right, and we will talk again soon. And I try to reach me also during the week. You can call this line if you want, by the way, and leave a message. I swear we will not try to drone strike you or anything.
Nice try.
No, seriously, you should call this line. This is the landline. It's way better reception than my cell phone anyway.
Okay.
All right. Hey, you have a good night, and say something in Russian for me. Say like goodbye, my American friend, in Russian. How's that?
Ooh, I gotta think about it, because I think in English now.
Are you serious? It's that good?
Good what? I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. Okay, I got to run, but we'll talk soon, okay?
Okay.
Okay. See ya. That was my Russian agent friend. One day she'll probably kill me. but that's fine. All right, let's pick up. Let's do 845 just before the break, which means I got to warm up my voice, and hopefully I can pull this off. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it.
New York, New York.
That's what I'm talking about.
With my vagabond shoes.
That's right.
I got beat up last week because I didn't say vagabond shoes.
I know, right? Yeah, the peanut gallery is giving you a lot of grief for that. So what's crack-a-lacking?
Not much. Shout out to Belarus. Tell her I got my case of Kalashnikov and cyanide tablets.
Nice. Yeah, you guys are kindred spirits. So when the go.
I love the accent. It's awesome.
She's from Belarus.
It's awesome.
I mean, and she's actually
I love it.
For a wallflower, she says she's very shy. She's funny. She's got some good. She's got some good delivery. She absolutely plays off the whole agency like she was really an agent. Go figure.
Go figure. Too funny.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys were talking about the Guild earlier.
Yeah.
And I had told you I found that show called The Guild.
Called The
Guild.
Guild.
It was, I found that it was like 8, 10, 12-minute downloads over a period of years. It started in 2012. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And now it's on Netflix as 5 full, 1.5-hour episodes. Holy shit, that show was funny.
It is funny. And
you nerds are incredible.
The girl in it was the girlfriend, before she sued him for whatever, of that famous nerd guy. Oh, boy. I can't remember his name. Who was on different sci-fi shows and Star Trek panels. You'd know who he was if I gave you the name. Anyway, she dated him. She was also a YouTuber who was big geek YouTuber. So actually the show, it's not like a lot of those kids in that show are acting. They're actually real nerds.
Right.
I mean, not like
Wow.
Bob's son's nerd. I mean that's elite skills. By the way, shout out.
Bob's son is cool.
He is
Bob's
cool.
son is really cool.
He's cool. And did I
they
tell
were
you?
super
And
geeky in that show.
I think I could say this on air. He works for Fortnite now. He works for Epic Games, not at full time. It's a contract basis. He finds bugs for them because he hacked into their Christmas buying program side of Fortnite. Not a lot of people that can hack in Fortnite. He found a third bug the other day that was tied to the instant message system inside the game, and he could look at all the messages from even the execs. They were inside the game, and so they.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's like, oh heck, we'll pay you for that. He's gonna get hired eventually. I don't know what the laws are. I don't think he's even 16 yet. Anyway.
Yeah, most states they can work. I think you can work at 14.
Well, I mean, there's got to be rules for Uber geeks. There's got to be.
Right. I just think it's just hours. Hours.
Look. What do you want him to do? You either do this, or eventually he's going to be hacking the Pentagon, and that's not an exaggeration.
Right. Yeah, you want him on your side for sure.
Yeah, you want him on your side. Yeah, you don't want Belarus contacting him.
Yes, that's exactly what you don't want.
Next thing you know, I would be president in 2020. Okay, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
And I'd beat Trump as an independent, and people would be like, "What the hell?" And Jeran would be home just laughing and laughing. Anyway, do you want me to carry you through the break real quick, because we're going to music here and
Sure.
Okay. All right, phone number to call in, and I promise after we come back, and we'll talk to Mark for a little bit more. We'll pick up 202 and 909 and anyone else that's left. But the phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And this musical interlude is for my future ex-wife, Patricia Steer.
I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
Migrant ruling, White House shakeup. I'm Ann Cates. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's policy of returning asylum seekers to Mexico to wait out their cases.
The preliminary injunction will apply nationwide Friday, with the judge saying the administration lacked a legal basis under current law for adopting the policy, and that asylum seekers offered uncontested evidence that they fled their homes in Central America to escape extreme violence, including rape and death threats. This is the latest blow to President Trump as he faces several legal challenges for the border wall, which came after he declared a national emergency to shore up funding for construction. I'm Sierra Crawford.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is leaving along with the Secret Service Chief. Correspondent Caitlin Collins.
Trump ordered Mick Mulvaney to fire Randolph Alice, who goes by Tex and has led the Secret Service since 2017. Alice was still on the job Monday, but the White House said in a statement that he'll be leaving shortly, and President Trump has selected James M. Murray to take over in May.
A Chinese woman who bluffed her way into President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida remains in custody. Correspondent Kaylee Hartung.
This was a pre-trial detention hearing, but no determination was made on that matter as the defense asked for a 1-week extension, saying they've had some communications with people related to Zhang in China that could be of help for her as the judge decides if she will be permanently held in detention awaiting trial. And the federal prosecutor says by that date, next Monday, he expects to return an indictment as well. There will be a lot of ground to cover next Monday here.
Measles cases are on the rise and mostly children are affected. 465 cases of the measles have been reported so far this year, the most since 2014. Outbreaks have hit several states, including California, Michigan, and New Jersey. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 84 points, the NASDAQ up 15. I'm Ann Cates.
An evergreen.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Welcome to Strange World, part 3 of 4, doing a call-in show. We got a full board lined up, and we were talking with Zulu from New York. Zulu, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, good.
Thank you for taking me so I could plug my show so I don't get beat up for it. Thursday nights, night school, with myself, Shona Collins, and the other guy, Brian Burton. Thursday nights, 9 o'clock-ish.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
man.
And
I got
Peanut Gallery, by the way, is working on who the nerd girl was. I think his name was Chris, But I know that apparently that nerd girl from the Guild is now dating Nathan Fillion from Firefly.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll figure out his name.
I only saw her in that.
You what?
I didn't see her in anything else that I know of. I only saw her in that. I don't know if anything.
No. She hasn't really been in anything else. She was really just a podcast